Bon après-midi, mesdames et messieurs. Bienvenue ici en Mariembourg pour la dernière manche de la saison Iame Series Benelux de 2024. Good afternoon. Welcome to Mariembourg to the Karting des Fagnes International Raceway for the fifth and final championship round of the 2024 Iame Series Benelux season. You join Alex Goldschmidt, and also to my immediate right-hand side here in the commentary position, Simon Mirguet will be taking you through all the play-by-play action. We've already had time qualifying take place this morning, Simon, and what an ultra-competitive set of sessions it was for the final time for the best part of nearly 150 combined drivers when you look at both X30 Junior and X30 Senior. And welcome back once again. It's been a while since the fourth round at Karting Genk, hasn't it?
Bonjour Alex, bonjour à tous.
So we are 5 minutes away from our first qualifying heat. We have a total of, if memory serves me correctly, 21 qualifying heats. Here is the timetable for today. So the first of 6 Junior X30 heats will get underway. Groups A versus C. In qualifying earlier on, well, Stig de Rademaker was initially top of the timesheets in Group 1, but was given a 3-place penalty post-session for an out-of-position front fairing, thereby promoting Juice Mulder, the new signing, the new Wunderkind at Eichmann's Grand Prix, having made his debut with the team last week at the Le Mans Euro Cup, which was a fantastic event in its own right. But Louis Bazire from Victory Lane, representing France, the 126, took the overall top time with a 56.921. Then we got the surprise of the season. It was not Alessandro Tudisca. It was not Henki Kalteren. It was not Clément Houton. It wasn't Noah Maton. But it was Milan Marczak from the Netherlands, representing DFK, who put in a howitzer of a final attempt in Group 2 in qualifying, posting the fastest time out of all three groups of a 55.197. Looking into the championship standings, we'll concentrate on the sharper end of the grids. Juice Mulder, the leading rookie, switching from Victory Lane to Eichmann's Grand Prix, currently leads the way after a double maximum points haul at the penultimate round at Karting Genk in late August, has 579 points to his credit. Ireland's Brennan Tech wonder Tig Buckley rounds out second on 570 points, with the UAE's Arta Dodonka from RSD Karting completing the top three on 548. Devon Hagland from Fusion Motorsport and Quinten van Leeuwen from Falcon Racing Team, both representing the Netherlands, round out the top 5, covered by 39 points. Senior is also looking rather inviting, but it's Sam Balota, the man who has been on the cusp of taking a Senior X30 crown, having been denied in previous seasons, leads the championship standings with 2 scores to go on 587 points. Alessandro Tudisca is his closest competitor so far this season, having done the double at Karting Genk back in late August. 556 points to his credit, and he's joined by fellow colleagues, let's say, Noah Maton on 542, rounding out the top 3, and the Netherlands' Henki Kalteren, the only driver so far this year to, I think, take a maximum amount of qualifying heat victories back at round 2 in May at Ostricor. He's on 528. Clément Houton, Dan Steeman, Kevin Lantinga, Patrice Kowalski, Marcus Gloom and Lawrence Saxa all have a mathematical opportunity to take the title. But, however, Simon, the big talking point is going to be weather this weekend. You arrived just before qualifying this morning, but yesterday afternoon at around between 3 and 4 p.m. we had a monstrous deluge. And I remember last night, I briefly looked at the live stream from last year, that we had significant rainfall, and there is cloud cover overhead despite blue skies being above us here at Mariembourg, that there is that ever-present threat of a microclimate that could sweep in at any second.
Alex vous disait il y a quelques instants que l'un des points d'attention de ce week-end, ça allait être la météo, parce qu'hier on avait vécu une journée avec un déluge sur l'après-midi ici sur le karting des Fagnes, et donc ce sera un élément très important à suivre durant le week-end, parce que ça pourrait venir jouer les troubles fêtes et permettre à certains pilotes de se mettre plus ou moins en évidence. Alex vous a aussi redressé un petit peu le scénario des différents championnats, avec du côté de la catégorie X30 Junior Un duel entre Juste Mulder et Tad Buckley qui s'annonce ici sur le karting des Fagnes. Les deux pilotes qui sont arrivés ici à Mariembourg avec un écart de 9 points seulement. Et puis du côté de la catégorie X30 Senior, là c'est Sam Balota qui est bien engagé pour aller décrocher la couronne. Mais tout reste à faire quand même ce week-end. On n'est pas à l'abri d'une surprise. Et si surprise il y avait, on pourrait avoir Alessandro Tudisca qui en profite. Et tout ça, on va évidemment le voir et le découvrir. On va suivre l'évolution évidemment de tout cela dans les prochaines minutes. Premier rendez-vous de cet après-midi, c'est la première manche qualificative de la catégorie X30 Junior, groupe A contre groupe C. 10 minutes et un tour au programme. On va suivre cela dans quelques instants.
So let's take you through the first race of the weekend. It's Junior X30, Heat 1, Groups A versus C. Here's your starting grid. Louis Bazire starts from pole position with Devon Hagelin alongside on the front row. Then it's Senna Meunier and Alexandre Mercier on row 2. Anthony Bongartz and Aurelio Giustinelli round out row 3. Niels Lulor, Boris Yonchev, Tyke Buckley and Timo Riefler round out the top 10. Jamie English and Benjamin Foucault round out the top 12 ahead of Lucas Podkins and Sam Gluck. Raphael Boulard and Jordi Brugman on row 8. Shirt de Vries, Jan Modders, Yves Rie and Mathis Ballet round out the top 20 positions on the grid with a total of 29 starters. Rounding out the order will be Lucas Metz, Timothy Lausin, Pepin Steiger, Sacha Duquet, Lucas Belizari, Lennon Henriquez, Felix de Decker, Gobe Gesebilk and Flavio Caira rounding out the 29 strong. Caira not having a great qualifying session, only had a couple of laps to his name. One of the Caira brothers that have been running in karting, thanks to their dad, who will be here, Silvano Caira. A big. If anyone has seen the gantry here at Karting des Fagnes, there is a big banner that says Paddock Distribution. That's one of the companies that he runs along with Officiel Caira, which is a lot of classic Formula One cars, such as the days of Benetton, the old Tolman days, one of which was actually quite recently piloted by ex-F1 driver Derek Warwick, more to the point. But we're underway with formation at 10 minutes plus an additional lap. The real battle. Oh, right. Who is that slowing? That is an RSD kart. That is Aurelio Giustinelli, who's out of position. And once they go past the red line, which is the point of no return, the drivers cannot return to their position on the grid. So that could be a very, very big telling point. But the drivers are starting to slow down going through the escargot section here at this 1,366 metre clockwise circuit, which is also hosted in recent years back as far as 2018, the Iame International Open, where the two people on the mic were Chris McCarthy and our learned colleague, Guillaume Alvarez. So the drivers getting themselves into the rolling start formation 2 by 2. Mainly tomorrow afternoon, but the real focus will be after the qualifying heats have been completed. The top 36 out of 58 drivers will go into the A final, and then the rest will go into the Consolation B final race. But everyone looks to... Oh, no, that's going to be Aurelio Giustinelli pulling into pit lane. So the kart not working as it should do. Driver opting not to take part in this race. But it is Bazire and Hagelin on the front row. Victory Lane on pole position. Fusion Motorsport Benelux Progress Racing on the other side of the front row, over the crest and through into the Piff-Paff chicane that leads us on to the start-finish straight as the red lights are ignited on the starting gantry. And look at the people in attendance. Now, the revs start to build. We get racing right now, and I think we might have just had the timer countdown, which it has done. The field makes its way through into turn 1, into the right-hander here at turn 2 for the first time. Well, Bazire does not look to be leading. It is an RSD kart possibly at the front. Looks to be Arta de Donk. Well, it's not.
Senna Meunier.
Senna Meunier. Sorry, Arta's in another race. My apologies there, Arta. but Senna takes the early advantage through into the 90 left, now into the fast part of the circuit. Through it over 95 kilometres an hour through the sweeping right, and then you've got the hard braking zone into the Piff-Paff section before we head into the infield and into Escargot. But Senna making good progress already. That was a good start from him. But you know, as we always say, never count out Louis Baziré.
Oui, c'est vrai que c'est Namenier qui a pris le meilleur des envols et Louis Baziré s'est fait un peu surprendre. Je pense avec les pneus froids, on l'a vu un petit peu à la dérive au moment d'aborder ce premier virage. Et il a donc cédé le leadership à Namenier qui boucle à présent le premier tour. Il emmène avec lui un certain Anthony Bongard. Lui aussi a pris un superbe envol dans cette manche qualificative. Et regardez Louis Baziré qui est un tout petit peu en difficulté là, en bagarre pour la 3e position. Devant lui, c'est Devon Hackelen qui a pris la 3e place et maintenant il est sous la pression de Todd Buckley.
So Tyg Buckley, the youngster from Ireland for Brennan Tech. We've got several drivers here as they've been competing hard and fast. Devon Hackelen really has definitely put himself into the championship hunt this season, and more to the point was looking rather quick in qualifying. Hackelen currently 4th in the standings. Baziré currently 6th. Buckley currently 2nd. But at the moment, well, you know, Senna Meunier, who actually is currently 10th in the standings, so has the possibility. There's a maximum score of 160 points, and then you take a drop score into consideration. But after lap number 2, Meunier continues to lead. Bongart's less than a quarter of a second behind, but Hagelen's pulling away from Baziré. You said about cold tyres there. Very good point there, Simon, especially with the colder conditions, but a move up the inside. That was through on Timio Rifla. I think it was the 145, but Rifla instantly responds on the 195 of Nils Lalore. So that's the battle for 8th place on the road. We're into the 90 left once again. You can just see, I mean, one of the biggest things I saw earlier on this year, that through that 90 left, there was one incident that happened, then it caused a chain reaction. And the third incident happened 30 seconds later on the run into Escargot. But with 7 minutes and 20 to go, Senna Meunier controlling proceedings. Hagelin, Baziré and Buckley are now closing in on Anthony Bongartz. So Bongartz at the minute is trying to do a very good job, but Hagelin's got the slipstream coming down the start-finish straights, and he pulls to the inside, needing to like from Devon Hagelin on Anthony Bongartz through the 2nd position.
Du changement pour la 2e place, vous venez de le voir avec Devon Hackelen, le pilote néerlandais qui est passé devant Anthony Bongard. C'est Louis Baziré qui passe ensuite à l'attaque. Après un départ un petit peu délicat, eh bien, le pilote français est en train de revenir petit à petit dans le coup, parce que derrière le quatuor de tête, c'est un petit peu déjà l'écart qui a été créé ici. Louis Baziré qui avait réalisé la pole position, et on sait que le pilote français a déjà marqué les esprits dans cette Iame Series Benelux, notamment en allant s'imposer une fois cette saison. C'était du côté d'Austricourt à domicile pour le pilote français. Il avait aussi fait part d'une belle pointe de vitesse, notamment à Genk, en remportant certaines manches qualificatives. Donc il est capable de revenir, ça c'est sûr et certain. Devant, Devon Hackelen est en train, je pense, de revenir petit à petit sur Senna Meunier. On va voir comment le pilote belge est capable de résister à ce retour. Et puis derrière, Todd Buckley, qui avait pris un bon envol, est un tout petit peu en difficulté ici. Il vient de repasser devant le 190, c'est Alexandre Mercier. Et regardez qui vient s'ajouter dans cette bagarre, c'est Boris Yonchev.
Yeah, nice little ding-dong battle there between Alexandre Mercier and Tyg Buckley, and now they're at it again through into the next, you know, off of that part of the circuit, which really, I'm trying to remember the name of it as well. I can remember the Escargot one because it's easy to remember, but I'm sure it'll come to me at some point. But yeah, great battle. I mean, the thing was Buckley squeezed Mercier wide coming out of turn 3, and then all of a sudden Yonchev just went, there you go. Now, that is the change for the race lead. So Devon Hagelin through on Senna Meunier. Louis Baziré now closing in on the 2 in front. So with half of the race to go, it's a 4-way scrap between Devon Hagelin, who leads the way. There's only 2 1,000ths across the line. Well, he was overtaking Senna Meunier at the same point. Got through nice and easily. Baziré could be sizing up a move into the next right-hander, and through he goes. So change for the French driver for victory lane. And the Bongarts running with with Thierry Delray's team, the TD official kart team, is holding on to that 4th place and is not letting the 2 in front get away. But Hagelin really has got some good speed here as they come out of the final double right-hander and onto the lengthy start-finish straight, which has this nice little adaptive kink to it over the crest. And now Bongarts is going for the move, so Senemier is starting to drop. And there are, I think there is a warning possibly coming up on the digital flag. I couldn't really see it from the commentary position, but that's a good move there by Bongarts. So Bazire seems to be coming back at Hagelin, whereas Meunier has started to befall the same fate that we saw with Bazire just a few moments ago here, Simon.
Oui, Bazire qui revient dans les roues finalement de Devon Hagelin. Donc le poleman qui retrouve de plus en plus de couleurs dans cette première manche qualificative. Derrière, on a vu le dépassement d'Anthony Bongarts pour prendre la 3e position à Senamennier. Mais entre ces deux-là, ce n'est pas terminé. Focus sur la bagarre pour la première position avec Devon Hagelin qui entame désormais le dernier virage de ce karting des Fagnes. Et regardez qui va prendre le leadership de cette manche qualificative, c'est Louis Bazire, le pilote français de retour à la première position devant Devon Hagelin. Et vu le rythme affiché, regardez, 56 739 pour Louis Bazire. Alors on sait qu'il y a le phénomène de l'aspiration qui est très important dans cette Iame Series Benelux. On va voir si Louis Bazire est en mesure de conserver cet avantage. On a aussi vu derrière que Tab Buckley était toujours en train de se battre là pour la 6e, 7e position. Ça n'arrête pas d'évoluer entre ces pilotes-là. Devant le quatuor de tête et bien devant avec Anthony Bongarts qui pourrait d'ailleurs revenir sur Devon Hagelin dans les prochaines secondes. On va voir si la ligne droite d'arrivée et de départ va lui permettre de revenir. Peut-être pas pour aller attaquer, mais pourquoi pas. On va suivre ça de près. 2 minutes 25 encore au chronomètre. Toujours avec ce tour additionnel.
Boris Yonchev, 5-second time penalty for wrong starting position. Oh dear, that's not going to sit well with the 184, currently sitting in 7th position. 2 minutes plus an additional lap to go. Things are heating up a little bit under the collar. There's the 146 of the Netherlands, Sam Galuk, trying to close in on, I think that's Simio Rifla who's just ahead, because Nuzulore has gotten through, but Louis Bazire leads the way now ahead of Devon Hagelin, and you see a few of the drivers going into the Escargot section, and there are our top 4 coming through in towards the final double right-hander. So Bazire continues to lead as we're about to approach the conclusion of lap number 10. They'll be pushing over 105, 110 kph coming across the start-finish line as they do now. And the top 4 covered by 1.2 seconds. Mercier 5th. Buckley has dropped to 6th in the meantime. Ahead of Boris Yonchev. At the moment will end up outside of the top 13 as the way things stand. Maybe even, well, it could be the top 13. Probably dropping down to that position. Simio Rifla has been confirmed to have dropped behind Sam Galuk, who's brought a little bit of distance between himself and the 128. As we come to the conclusion of this race, there is the battle between Boris Yonchev and Nuzulore. So Yonchev will get a 5-second time penalty. That is unfortunate for Yonchev, who started 8th, and more to the point, well, he was actually behind Aurelio Giustinelli, and there should have been a gap where Giustinelli was not going to start. So if Yonchev was slightly too further forward on his starting position, then that's probably why they've given him a 5-second time penalty. That is at the discretion of race control. They have multiple cameras located around the circuit. But this and one more tour to go, and Louis Bazire looking to start the weekend off strong here, Seymour. But in the meantime, Alexandre Mercier gets passed by 2nd place in the championship Brennan Tex, Tyg Buckley.
Et Tyg Buckley qui vient de reprendre la 5e position à Alexandre Mercier. Derrière, on suit toujours la bagarre avec Boris Janchev et Nils Lelor. Boris Janchev qui écopera d'une pénalité de 5 secondes à l'issue de cette course. Et oui, le pilote belge est malheureusement parti de la mauvaise place sur la grille de départ.
No, it's been changed to a jump start. So...
c'est pour un départ anticipé,
oui.
visiblement. Ouais. Pour Boris Janchev. En attendant, eh bien, il reste un tour dans cette manche qualificative avec toujours Louis Baziret en tête. Derrière, regardez, Tyg Buckley qui est en train de défendre sa position. Et derrière, c'est Nils Lelor qui est passé devant Boris Janchev pour le gain de la 7e position. Regardez, c'est très très serré, hein, avec un top 10 qui se bat encore. Et Nils Lelor qui s'est fait notamment surprendre par Boris Janchev à nouveau. Sam Keluk derrière en embuscade a peut-être vu l'opportunité d'en profiter. Il n'est pas parvenu à le faire. Et puis en 10e position, on a Timéo Riflard qui est en train de scruter ça de très très près. En attendant, Louis Baziret va venir s'imposer dans cette première manche qualificative. Plus qu'une ligne droite dans cette manche. Le drapeau à damier qui va être présenté au pilote français, qui est donc parti de la pole position, qui a connu un début de manche difficile, mais qui finalement a repris ses esprits et qui vient s'imposer dans cette manche qualificative devant Devon Hakkelen, Anthony Bongard, Senna Meunier et Tyg Buckley, finalement 5e.
Tyg Buckley, line astern, side by side with Alexandre Mercier, but it is France's youngster from Victory Lane, Louis Baziret, that takes the opening win of the final race weekend of the season for Junior X30 by just over 0.4 of a second ahead of Devon Hakkelen after 12 laps of racing. Good work by Anthony Bongarts to move up the order from 5th on the grid to finish P3 ahead of Senna Meunier. Tyg Buckley started 9th, finished 4th. Alexandre Mercier, Boris Janchev, who will get a 5-second time penalty post-race for a jump start, and that will drop him down to 13th. So being promoted will be Nils Lelor, Sam Geluk, Timéo Riflard, Jan Malders, Benjamin Foucault and Jordi Brugman. Lucas Pellizzari, the Luxembourger, up from 25th on the grid to finish 14th. Ahead of Yves Rie from the Netherlands. Lennon Henriquez, another one that making double digits worth of gains up the field. Moved up from 26 on the grid to finish 16th. Timothy Laussin, Sacha Decay, Felix de Decker, Jamie English, Mathis Bellet, Kobe Kersebilk, Flavio Caira, Rafael Boulard, Lucas Bodkins, Lucas Smets and Shed de Vries, the last of the classified finishers. Pevin Steiger not making it through Sector 3 on the final lap, with Aurelio Giustinelli not taking the start.
Après la victoire de Louis Baziret dans la première manche qualificative, qui sera le second vainqueur de la journée dans la catégorie X30 Junior? Réponse dans quelques instants. La grille de départ à présent que vous découvrez avec en pole position juste Mulder devant Wouter Berganu, Bink Van Skeindel, Stig de Rademacher et Arthur Horn pour compléter le top 5. Sixième place pour Arthur de Donker devant Achille Géradin, Maxime Prudent, Viggo Mons, Quinton Van Leeuwen et Eva Dorrestein. Deuxième place pour Didier Crer qui devance Edouard Godefroy, Lorenzo Notarigo, Jack McLaughlin, Mohamed Bouzaki, Max Selin, Fares Jalil, Matteo Mélis, Moritz Moore, Yanis Van den Bosch, Antoine Duval, Maurice Verkreuz, Finn Albers, Hilunting, Nathan Best, Noah Podjens, Sverre Varlinden et puis pour compléter le classement, Mathis Landel. Voilà pour cette grille de départ et donc comme on vous le disait, un tour de chauffe, un tour de formation et puis une course de 10 minutes et un tour pour connaître le deuxième vainqueur de la journée dans la catégorie X30 Junior. On est parti pour les manches qualificatives ici, des manches très importantes, on le rappelle, elles permettent de déterminer la grille de départ de la finale, elles permettent de sélectionner les 36 meilleurs pilotes du début de week-end pour effectuer cette finale et surtout elles permettent aussi, ces manches qualificatives, de marquer des points, 2 attributions par week-end, une fois après les manches qualificatives et une fois après la finale. Donc moment important ici en ce vendredi sur le karting des Fagnes pour la finale de la saison, la finale de la Iame Series Benelux en cette mi-octobre. Rendez-vous très important pour les uns et les autres parce que le titre en X30 Junior n'est pas du tout joué. On a une bagarre très certaine entre juste Mulder et Tad Buckley. Tad Buckley qu'on a vu dans la manche précédente, juste Mulder qu'on retrouve ici en pole position avec à ses côtés Wouter Berganu. Ça va très certainement se bagarrer à tous les échelons dans cette catégorie des 12-15 ans, catégorie où ces jeunes pilotes, jeunes adolescents ont envie de se montrer avant peut-être pour certains le passage à la catégorie reine l'an prochain. Catégorie toujours très impressionnante à suivre également dans le cadre donc de cette Iame Series Benelux. C'est le poleman juste Mulder qui donne le rythme dans ce tour de formation et une fois que les feux seront éteints sur la ligne de départ, on sera parti pour cette deuxième manche qualificative dans la catégorie X30 Junior. Le départ imminent, les feux qui s'éteignent et on est donc parti pour cette manche qualificative avec le meilleur des départs pour juste Mulder qui a réussi à conserver l'avantage au premier virage. Derrière, vous le voyez, ça se bagarre déjà dans le peloton. Ça passe pratiquement pour tout le monde dans le premier et le deuxième virage. Le troisième virage très délicat également avec, vous le voyez, des pilotes qui en profitent pour dépasser. On a notamment dans ce groupe et dans cette fin de peloton un certain Antoine Duval, régional de l'étape. C'est un local, hein. Ça c'est clair et net. Et regardez derrière, tout s'est bien passé. Et juste Mulder est en train déjà de tenter de creuser l'écart. C'est tout ce qui compte pour lui, c'est de se mettre à l'abri au plus vite. Mais derrière, il a un pilote qui le suit de très près. Et on va pouvoir vous confirmer de qui il s'agit d'ici quelques instants, une fois que tout le monde aura repassé pour la première fois cette ligne d'arrivée. Prochain pointage avec juste Mulder. Derrière lui, c'est Bink Van Skeindel qui est en embuscade et qui va peut-être passer. Voilà, c'est fait. Au deuxième virage, au freinage, Bink Van Skeindel qui s'empare du leadership de cette manche qualificative.
Well, Just Mulder did lead the way, but there is a move from Stig de Rademacher. That was on, I think that was possibly on Achille Géradin. So de Rademacher for Fusion Motorsport Benelux Progress Racing was the fastest in Group 1, but got a 3-place penalty due to the front bumper being out of position. The curbs are at some points here at Mariembourg quite unusually high, but Bink Van Skeindel from the Falcon Racing team, had a new recruits at Eichmann's Grand Prix. The move only happened just recently And Juice Mulder was the runner-up behind RSD Karting's Oscar Bouchot from France at Le Mans last week. But now, Stig de Rademaker looks for the move up the inside of Juice Mulder. Through at turn number 1 he goes, and there's Achille Gerardin waiting in the wings. VDK Racing's Arthur Huang has got Arthur Tadonka breathing down the back of his exhaust pipe as they come out of turn 2 into turn number 3, and then it's the short shoot up to the 90 left here at turn 4. You can come a cropper if you wallop the inside curbing with the left side wheels, but look at the train that's starting to form, and now that's a move. Nice work there, and that was Gerardin on Mulder. That was for 3rd place. So Juice Mulder, from what I understand, I had a chat with him and his dad this morning, and his dad said, well, we are waiting for a new chassis to arrive today. I was like thinking, and I thought in my head, today of all days, so hopefully the team at Eichmann's Grand Prix. Of course, Ian Eichmann's, we have to say many congratulations for winning the Richard Mille Young Driver Academy quite recently, and that is a Spanish F4 test with season with MP Motorsport next year. But Arthur Huang making a move on Juice Mulder, and there is Arthur Dodonka waiting in the wings. As Huang makes another move, that's great work by the youngster from VDK. Very soft-spoken young driver, but, well, as they say, you always have to watch out for the drivers that are quieter than everybody else. And, well, Arthur Huang does his talking on the racetrack, and that is very much what we've seen. 6.5 minutes to go, plus an additional lap, and it is Bing van Skeendel from the Netherlands for the Falcon Racing team. Now, I understand is under new ownership in total. Falcon now running in multiple different classes of karting. But, well, Stig de Rademaker, who last time around put in the fastest lap of the race, 57.054, is right on the coattails. And de Rademaker dives to the inside line through T1 here on lap 5, and he's back through for the race lead.
Ouais, changement de leader dans cette manche qualificative avec Stig de Rademaker qui est passé devant Bink van Skeendel. Attention parce que derrière, oh ça s'est frotté avec notamment Just Mulder. Attention, c'est le leader du championnat. Pas d'erreur, absolument pas dans ces manches qualificatives, sinon ça pourrait devenir plus compliqué que prévu pour le leader du championnat qui est aussi un rookie. Just Mulder qui s'est fait quelque peu mis à l'extérieur là-bas. Et attention parce qu'il rétrograde de plus en plus dans le classement, et pour l'instant dans le duel à distance avec Tad Buckley, eh bien c'est Tad Buckley, c'est le pilote irlandais qui a pour l'instant, provisoirement, on n'est pas encore à la fin de cette course, mais qui a un léger avantage, alors qu'après les qualifications c'était plutôt l'inverse. En attendant, on boucle un nouveau tour ici à Mariembourg avec Stig de Rademaker qui est bel et bien en tête devant Bing van Skeendel. Belle remontée aussi d'Arthur Hoang qui est en 3e position. Il devance Achille Gerardin et Arthur de Donker. À la 6e place, on retrouve Wouter Berganu qui a aussi vécu un début de course assez délicat. Et regardez juste Mulder qui se fait encore dépasser. Oh, les temps sont durs pour le leader du championnat en ce début de manche.
That was Maxime Prudhomme getting through, I believe, in the 168. So Juice Mulder now outside of the top 10. Of course, switching to a new team, new environment. You know, maybe change your team boss, change your mechanic. The family support will always be there, guaranteed. So Maxime Prudhomme, the 168, gets through. But de Rademaker holding on to the race lead at the moment, ahead of Bing van Skeendel from the Netherlands. Arthur Huang, Achille Gerardin, and Arthur Dodonka round at the top 5. I think Dodonka's gotten through. Let's have a look. Yes, Dodonka has got through for 4th place. Emirati resident driver. Belgian family, of course, based on the name. Nice little 3-way scrap between a couple of Euro karting karts. And somebody else, I think that was, who was that? Probably Fagnes Jalil, I may have caught at the back end of that in the 177. And that's the 75. Germany's Moritz Moore trying to get through. And manages to make it through on one driver, but not on the other. However, you cannot really separate de Rademaker and van Skeendel at the moment in terms of who's going to lead this race. And as they say, it's one thing to chase, it's another thing altogether to pass. With 3.5 minutes to go, there's still an opportunity here for either Stig de Rademaker or Bing van Skeendel to get the advantage, but at the moment it is de Rademaker. Van Skeendel did not decide to go through, and that was quite crucial. Obviously, drivers have a limited amount of sets they can use. They'll have a full set. Normally they'll have one spare driver and one spare passenger. Well, driver front and driver, well, a front and a rear tyre. But more to the point, it is the case of who is going to become our second different winner of the weekend. So, time penalties coming in. 1, 2, 4. Quentin Van Leeuwen. 3 to 4 wheels outside of the tram lines. Currently running 7th. Is going to get a 5-second penalty. And drivers 107, Lorenzo Rodrigo, and 112, Didier Keith, get a 3-second time penalty for at least 1 or 2 wheels out of the tram lines. But on to lap number 9 we go. And Bing Skindle closing in on Stig de Rademaker. De Rademaker at the minute. Currently sitting 7th at the moment. Ava Dodderstein's put in the new fastest lap of the race. 3rd in the Iame Ladies Cup at Le Mans last week. But Van Skendel is really putting the pressure on to the Rademaker as they're going through into the escargot section once again here on turn number 9. But the Rademaker making the kart as wide as humanly possible. Dodderstein, one of the drivers that made it to the top 4 of last year's FIA Girls on Track scheme, and was able to compete against the likes of Bella Fairclough and Vanessa Sulkinate. Change a little bit further back. And that is on Uta Bergano. And that is possibly just behind. That's the 133, Akila Gerardin. At the moment, well, not the leading rookie, as we've got a minute to go, plus an additional lap, so we could very much get another 3 laps of racing, including this one. But still, the battle for first and second between the Rademaker and Van Skendel going on with more intensity. Same with Huang versus the Doctor. Donker, my apologies there. So the Donker closing in on the VDK driver from Belgium. In the battle for P3, 2 laps to go. And Juice Mulder now recovers to 9th place. And behind Matteo Minis looks to be possibly a move that's just occurred between Viggo Moons and Mohamed El Bouzaki. Jack McLaughlin holding the rear gunner. As if to say, I'm going to wait until what happens after everything, and then I'll call it a day. There we go. Our drivers now coming through into the final couple of corners. We still have 1 more tour of this circuit to go. And at the minute, leading the way, it is still Stig de Rademaker, Bing van Skendel from the Netherlands, just behind Arthur Huang and Alta de Donker, battling over 3rd place as they head into turn 3 for the final time here on lap number 12. And de Rademaker defends, Huang defends their respective positions, but de Donker's going on the offensive. He's going to launch it up the inside, through at turn 4, and he got through. Van Skendel tried the same opportunistic move and did not make it work. He was wheel to wheel with de Rademaker, but the Donker made it textbook perfection. But we're coming down out of the escargot section for the final time. Van Skendel's trying to put a move on de Rademaker. It could be a photo finish here in X30 Junior Heat 2, Group B versus C. There's the undercut. There's the undercut. And that's exactly what Bing van Skendel needed. The Falcon Racing driver puts the pedal to the metal and wins Heat 2. Incredible stuff. And look at the launch across the line. Ava Dodderstein. A 3-way across the line. Drag race to finish. Ava Dodderstein, 11th to 3rd. Ahead of de Donker, Van Leeuwen 5th. Who is going to get a post-race penalty, let's be completely honest. But still, nevertheless, exciting as heck. Wouterberger 6, ahead of Arthur Huang. Achille Girardin, Maxime Prudent. Right, Quentin Van Leeuwen has been demoted to 11th place. So Jules Mulder finishes behind Maxime Prudent, who finishes 8th. Didier Klieft, 12th. Matteo Melis, right, okay, Didier Klieft has now changed. So it's Van Schijndel from de Rademaker by 0.177. Then it was a further 3.3 back to Evert Dorrestein, Arthur de Donker, Wouter Bergano, Arthur Huang, Achille Girardin, Maxime Prudent. Jules Mulder finishes 9th, ahead of Quentin Van Leeuwen. Matteo Melis, Viggo Moons, Mohamed El Bouzaki, Didier Klieft, Jack McLaughlin ran out the top 15, ahead of Antoine Duval, Edouard Godefroy, and then also Gil Hunting, Moritz-Moore, Fares Jalil, amongst others. And then we had Yannis van den Bosch, Mathis Londen, Nathan Best, Lorenzo Rodrigo, Finn Albers, Maurice Verkruijs, Max Sulin, Sverre Verlinden, and Noah Butkins rounding out the 29 strong. But Van Schijndel, last corner, last lap, takes Heat 2, B versus D in X30 Junior. So, we get our first
En
interview
we
of the day.
zijn
Let's
met
head down to Simon.
de tweede winnaar van en we zijn met de tweede winnaar van de dag in de X30 Junior klas, Bing van Schijndel. Proficiat voor de overwinning. Wat een mooi duel met Stig de Rademaker.
Ja, het was moeilijk. Ik zat er de hele tijd achter en ik kon net niet het gat vinden. En aan het einde, toen hij de hele tijd ging verdedigen, vond ik toch nog een gat te vinden.
Ja, en super laatste rond. Met een kaart, wat is de gevoelens? Goed?
Ja, heel goed.
Ja?
Ja, ik was best wel snel, constant en ik ben er tevreden mee.
Ja, dat was Bing van Schijndel, dus de tweede winnaar van de dag in de X30 Junior klas.
So now we turn our attention to Senior X30. Here's the first of 15 qualifying heats. It's Groups A versus D, and here's your starting order. After a fantastic result in time qualifying, it's Milan Marczak, the fastest of 85 drivers, starting from pole position. He'll be joined by Belgium's Marcus Gloom on the front row. Patrice Kowalski and Henki Kalteren, row 2. Tristan Kroon and Mikko Wolters, row 3. Loris Saxer and Esteban Valgrave, row number 4. Row 5 completing the top 10, Rafael Leenders and Arthur Vasseur. Thomas Van Vliet, Koen Torui, Griffin Himmenset, Rafael Dow, Annabelle Bryan, Jop Muller, Thibaut Gillard, François Delati, and Raffaele Santacono round out the top 20. 29 drivers will compete over the next 10 minutes plus an additional lap, with Max Heersel, Kevin Bakker, Sibi Paganar, Keanu Wellens, Ollie Meurs, Luke Taylor, Ruby Verlinden, Kenneth Albuquerque, and Gaetan Duprat Bandera, the latter of which was actually excluded post-qualifying by racing today. Air temperature 10 degrees Celsius, wind to the east 9 kilometres an hour, 71% humidity, and I've just seen the ominous signs, 50% chance of possible rain. There is cloud cover up overhead. There is still blue skies just behind the paddock area. So we are still within that window of it probably getting a little bit colder out on track. But more to the point, the track is still dry. It is cloudy overhead. You can see a lot of cloud cover in the background of all the camera shots on the official Iame Series Benelux YouTube stream, which will be permeating all the way through today, tomorrow and Sunday. Today and tomorrow the focus is X30 Junior and Senior, and then on Sunday we'll close out our 2024 season with Mini Rookie, Gentleman, Master, Senior Cup and KA 100. So it is down to Milan Marczak and Marcus Gloom to control the start as we are on the official formation lap. 10 minutes on the timer, and the red lights will now be ignited on the starting gantry once again here at this 1,366 metre 12-turn clockwise circuit. Now the field gets into formation. It's the calm before the storm, as they say, as our drivers using the Iame X30 125cc. They'll be using the Comet tyres in both wet and dry configurations, as a plume of smoke, exhaust smoke that is, sees the drivers at a crawl, at a snail's pace. Race director Dave Ritson instructing the field to slow before they enter the tram lines. 10 minutes on the timer, plus an additional lap. The lights are out and we're underway. Good start by Milan Marczak. As Henki Kalteren already starting to get his elbows out and sharpen. The field makes its way through into turn number 2 for the first time. Griffin Himmenset having a drama, and he's dropped to the back end of the order. He hasn't really competed. Oh, we've got a yellow flag a little bit further back, I think off of Marshall Post 1. But everyone making their way through into turn number 4. Kalteren on the attack, and he's at full push. And he's really started to close in. Oh, one of the TD carts off the circuit. Catch the number, but it was quickly out of sight. Side by side in towards the infield section. That's never easy, especially at that part of the circuit. It very much widens at the bottom, the double right, and then into the left. You instantly get the slight feeling that you're in an ever-closing tunnel, so to speak. But the first lap about to be in the books, and Milan Marczak leads the way. Henki Kalteren in second position. Third, Patrice Kowalski. Loris Saxer up to fourth. Clément Massot, Mikko Wolters. Oh, Marcus Gloom has dropped, so has Tristan Kroon. So there were dramas earlier on. Tristan Kroon has dropped to 27th. Marcus Gloom all the way down to 25th. So straight away in the opening a minute and a quarter, things are getting really, really hot and heated under the collar. But Marczak and Kalteren have gotten away. Kalteren was 0.4 of a second behind him, but has taken over a 10th out of the race leader in the opening sector, and now into sector number 2. Kalteren's not got the fastest lap quite yet. However, at the minute though, Simon, Milan Marczak is under significant pressure. Henki Kalteren is not letting him get away by any stretch of the imagination, as one of the EGP drivers gets up the inside through the final right-hander. It's
Oui, et on a eu Mirko Wouters qui est passant devant Clément Massot. Et le changement de leader à présent dans cette première manche qualificative de la catégorie X30 Senior. Henki Kalteren qui vient de surprendre Milan Marczak. Deux Néerlandais donc aux 2 premières places. Patrice Kowalewski en 3e position et à quelques longueurs du duo de tête. Patrice Kowalewski qui a l'occasion là de revenir sur le duo de tête. 4e place pour Loritz Sachs devant Mirko Wouters. C'est donc confirmé, Mirko Wouters qui est passé devant Clément Massot qui avait pris un superbe envol. De son côté, début de manche compliqué pour Marcus Glum qui a rétrogradé à la 22e position. Début de manche aussi compliqué pour un certain Tristan Krohn qui est désormais 25e, donc début de course compliqué. Et vous l'avez vu pour les pilotes qui sont sortis à l'extérieur dans l'herbe, c'est vraiment très humide et une fois qu'on met les roues dans cette herbe, c'est vraiment difficile d'en sortir et ça salit évidemment très très fort vos pneus. On a la bagarre ici avec, je pense, Clément Massot et François Delati. Clément Massot qui est passé à la 7e place, je pense, et c'est Raphaël Lenders là, qui est passé à la 6e position.
Yeah, so just goes to show how quickly things can change. You hit one curve the wrong way here, it's going to bite back quicker than a bear in the woods, and that is very much the case. These drivers have come to fight, and there is a little bit of a touch. There's a secondary touch, and that was Arthur Vasseur in the 3.15. Right behind, I think that was, it wasn't Francois Delati who's already made up a position, that would have been Clément Massot. Again, these drivers know that they were told at the briefing this morning, be careful, we are watching. This is a championship finale. And one of the things that everyone wants to see is this title decided out on circuit. Not afterwards, not waiting for a decision to be made, because the champion will be crowned tomorrow afternoon. And the good thing is, well, Henki Kalteren, he literally barnstormed his way to the front. And look at Patrice Kowalski for Thierry Del Rey's team. He's also been very quick this season, but has also suffered his own trials and tribulations. The top 3 after 4 laps, covered by just over half a second. Kowalski with the fastest lap of the race, 55, 3.89. Mirko Wouters fastest in sector 1. Milan Marczak fastest in sector 2. Kowalski fastest in sector number 3. So, another lap in the books, nearly at half time, with about 20 seconds until we hit that point. Top 3, still Kalteren, Marczak, Kowalski, et al. So, the good thing is, these drivers are really starting to push forward. Annabelle Bryan has got through on Kevin Barker. There is a change a little bit further back in the field, going through into turn number 1. But more to the point, Henki Kalteren, all he needs to do is control this Simon. He doesn't need to pull out a big gap. He just needs to extend little by little, sector by sector, and maybe go on course to having the opportunity to do what he did at Austrico, because if he does that, you know what? Anyone who says Henki Kalteren is out of this race, you are far from right on that one, I'm sure.
Oui, regardez qui est passé devant en 2e position, Alex, devant Milan Marczak, c'est Patrice Kowalewski qui avait réalisé le meilleur tour en course lors du tour précédent, 55-289. Cette manœuvre de dépassement a permis à Henki Kalteren de prendre quelques mètres d'avance, mais regardez Patrice Kowalewski, on a l'impression qu'il est en train de revenir encore petit à petit sur Henki Kalteren. Donc là, il a une très bonne opération à réaliser, Patrice Kowalewski, dans cette première manche qualificative de la catégorie. Il serait le premier, s'il parvient à s'offrir le scalp d'Henki Kalteren, le premier à marquer un grand coup dans cette catégorie. Regardez derrière, c'est la bagarre là avec Clément Massot qui passe devant Raphaël Lenders, François Delati. On avait fait de même il y a quelques instants maintenant. C'est la bagarre ici pour la 6e et 7e place. Ouais, ça se bat à tous les étages. Devant, on a un trio de tête assez clair qui domine pour l'instant cette manche qualificative avec 3 dixièmes d'avance pour Henki Kalteren devant Patrice Kowalewski, 7 dixièmes sur Milan Marczak. Et regardez derrière encore 2 pilotes CG Racing là qui se battent.
Raphael Dow and Arthur Vasseur, that's battling over 9th place. and they got Esteban Valgrave and Gaetan de Brabandera. De Brabandera has come flying up the order, is now 17 places up on where he started. There's also Thibaut Gelado just spotted in the background in the 261. He's made up 4 places in his own right. So Gaetan de Brabandera, 18 places gained, will maybe make that 17. So started from last. We have unfortunately lost from the Netherlands, the 225 of Koen de Rooij through sector number 2 on lap number 4. So one casualty already, but the other 28 runners and riders still circulating. Top 3 pretty much as they have been for the last 3 to 4 laps. Henki Kalteren leading by nearly 0.3 of a second as Mikkel Walters has managed to get through back on Laurits Saxer. So that's Eichmann's Grand Prix versus Falcon Racing, judging by the colour schemes. But Laurits Saxer has also been one that's had peaks and troughs this season. You see how close. I think it's Kalteren, Kowalski and Marczak. They're just like saying, right, okay, no, you move first. No, you move first. And then Henki Kalteren's at the front saying, well, I don't care what you think, guys. You're not getting past. This back end of this RSD karting entry is going to be made as wide as humanly possible.
Ouais, 1 minute 50 encore au chronomètre avec toujours cet avantage pour Henki Kalteren. On va boucler un nouveau tour d'ici quelques instants. La ligne droite avec le phénomène de l'aspiration à l'avantage de Patrice Kowalski qui revient à 2 dixièmes maintenant du leader, mais pas suffisamment proche que pour tenter une attaque. Pendant ce temps-là, un peu plus loin dans le classement, on a la remontée petit à petit pour Marcus Blum qui est désormais au 15e rang du classement, lui qui s'est lancé pourtant depuis les avant-postes. Ouais, c'est évidemment dommage d'avoir perdu autant de positions dans l'aventure. Regardez les 3 leaders, Henki Kalteren, Patrice Kowalski qui est de plus en plus pressant, et derrière c'est Milan Marczak qui lui a signé le meilleur tour en course depuis tout à l'heure en 55-160. Il est donc encore capable de réaliser quelque chose, et peut-être ce tour-ci encore, alors qu'il va rester seulement quelques tours dans cette manche qualificative. Regardez, il est vraiment très près, Milan Marczak. Et s'il est bien ressorti, il va peut-être pouvoir attaquer au bout de la ligne droite. Le petit coup d'œil derrière lui pour Patrice Kowalski qui a lui aussi pu bénéficier de ce phénomène de l'aspiration. Les signes de Patrice Kowalski aussi à Milan Marczak en disant viens, on va tenter de se rapprocher encore d'Henki Kalteren. Et l'attaque de Patrice Kowalski qui passe, peut-être pas, avec une réplique d'Henki Kalteren. Et le passage de Marczak.
That was textbook. Milan Marczak just lined it up. Kalteren went to Kowalski, no you don't, sunshine. And Milan Marczak went, right, okay, time for my point of being piggy in the middle. Lined it up perfectly. Kowalski had Kalteren to the inside, couldn't get the move done. Marczak just nipped it in the bud, got the job done, and that's exactly what they needed to do. But Kowalski through the final right-hander, gets back through on Milan Marczak. The wave of the finger as if to say, no, you don't do that to me. But one more tour to go. And there's more gesticulation from Kowalski ahead of Marczak. That has allowed Henki Kalteren to open up a lead of 0.3 of a second into turn 2 for the final time. Kowalski instantly switches to the right-hand side on the approach into turn 2. Now into 3. Marczak might be able to get a run, and he does. But Kowalski anticipating it. Marczak trying to go around the outside. And he gets the crossover. Is he going to get through? No, he's not. That has given Kalteren the opportunity he needs to take the race win.
Ouais, et Henki Kalteren profite également de cette bagarre entre Patrice Kowalski et Milan Marczak, avec Patrice Kowalski qui ferme les portes partout dans ce dernier tour. Et Henki Kalteren va venir s'imposer ici grâce à cette bagarre. Ouais, Patrice Kowalski qui ferme les portes vraiment partout il le peut. Attention au changement de trajectoire, à ne pas en abuser forcément. Regardez le petit coup de spoiler avant pour Milan Marczak, et la victoire d'Henki Kalteren, le pilote néerlandais qui aura donc résisté à Patrice Kowalski et Milan Marczak pour venir s'imposer ici dans cette première manche qualificative du week-end dans la catégorie X30 Senior. On le savait, Henki Kalteren, candidat aux avant-postes, il répond présent dans cette première manche qualificative. Il devance Patrice Kowalski, Milan Marczak qui a le meilleur tour en course, 55-025. Le top 5 est complété par Mikkel Walters et Laurits Saxer.
Henki Kalteren takes his first qualifying heat win of the weekend. by just under 2 seconds after 12 laps of racing ahead of Patrice Kowalski, with Milan Magzak rounding out the top 3. Mikko Wouters and Loritz Saxa complete the top 5 ahead of Francis François Delati, 13 positions gained to finish 6th ahead of Clément Massot, Raphael Linders, Arthur Varsor and Gaetan de Brabantera, Proficiat Junge, 10th place having started 29th. Annabelle Bryan makes up 5 spots to finish in 11th ahead of Thibaut Gillard, Esteban Valgrave, then we've got Marcus Gloom, Tristan Kroon, Thomas Van Vliet, Joop Muller, Raphael Dow, Max Hazel and Kevin Barker running out the top 20. Luke Taylor, Sibi Pagana, Ollie Murs, Raffaele Santacorno, Griffin Hinwinset, Kenneth Van Makaka, Keanu Wellens and Ruby Verlinden, the last of the 28 out of 29 classified finishers, with Kern Terui unfortunately retiring on lap 4 through sector 2.
Deuxième manche qualificative au programme pour la catégorie X30 Senior à présent. Le groupe B face au groupe C. Et on va découvrir dans quelques instants la grille de départ de cette manche qualificative. Avec en pole position Noah Maton, à ses côtés un équipier Alessandro Tudisca. Troisième place pour Luca Moulard. Devant Alexis Constant, CJ Bennett, Mathis Merskout et Luca Talman. Huitième position pour Kioli devant Angelo Meli, Sean Hogan, Jens Bessart, Yanis Gouillet, Christopher Bingham et Sky de Fourny. Le top 15 complété par Julian Camon, Jules Van Nul 16e devant Rhys Newburn, Roxane Latinga, Max Storm, Dennis Bouman, Taylor Vlichen, Kims Merkebag, Luca Montebello, Thibaut Weyers, Marit Skurman, Elie Dax, Quentin Dapoigny et pour compléter le classement, Anne-Charlotte Antuoro. On a eu une figure de style, un pilote parti à l'erreur. Il s'agit du numéro 308 qui est donc parti à la faute. Et c'est Luca Moulard qui doit en principe s'élancer depuis la troisième position. On va voir s'il est capable de venir récupérer sa position dans quelques instants. Et donc on redit le top 3. Noah Maton devant Alessandro Tudisca et en principe Luca Moulard. Le tour de formation désormais après le tour de chauffe, même principe que tout à l'heure dans la catégorie X30 Junior, une manche qualificative de 10 minutes et un tour. Et à l'issue de cette deuxième manche de la journée, le deuxième vainqueur, le premier c'était en principe Enki Calteron, mais on a appris qu'il y avait peut-être une décision à prendre au niveau des pénalités pour un départ pas pris dans les règles de l'art, avec des roues en dehors du couloir avant de franchir la ligne d'arrivée. Et on peut déjà vous confirmer que Luca Moulard ne partira pas depuis la troisième position. Il est arrêté au niveau du poste 2.
Yeah, Luca Moulard will not start from the inside of row number 2. Looked like the cart went straight on at turn 3. And hit the barriers, so that is a real shame for the driver representing Belgium. So there's got to be a gap where Moulard would be. Alexis Constant will be on the outside of row number 2, because pole position on this circuit is on the right-hand side. So the driver is going to have to be CJ Bennett. Bennett is going to have to give that gap in terms of the race start. But Simon, over to you.
Ouais, le départ imminent donc dans cette manche qualificative groupe B face au groupe C. Noah Maton est-il capable de confirmer sa bonne performance en qualification pour aller chercher une victoire en manche qualificative? Le départ donné et derrière le bon départ aussi, je pense, de Luca Talman qui s'est glissé à l'intérieur. Il est en quatrième position là-bas avec le châssis TD. Le leader toujours bien en place. Noah Maton qui a pris le meilleur des départs devant CJ Bennett, Alessandro Tudisca en troisième position. Et regardez derrière, ça s'est frotté notamment avec le numéro 379, c'est Gims Merkelbach qui était là presque en travers dans l'herbe. C'était assez impressionnant et on l'a vu dans la première manche qualificative de cette catégorie. C'est assez musclé dans les premiers virages. Attention à éviter l'accrochage dans ces conditions. Pendant ce temps, Noah Maton est en train de creuser petit à petit l'écart par rapport à ses plus proches poursuivants. C'est Jay Bennett et Alessandro Tudisca qui étaient très très proches du pilote irlandais il y a quelques instants. Et voilà, il déboîte justement Alessandro Tudisca pour aller chercher la deuxième position. Et CJ Bennett rétrograde à la troisième place. Et il est désormais sous la pression de Luca Talman.
So 27 of the 28 starters are on the circuit still. Of course, Luca Moulard out and is watching by the sidelines, unfortunately, from post number 2. A little bit of side-by-side action here coming out of the turn 3. And that was Gims Merkelbach having Quentin Dapoigny up the inside. CJ Bennett is now, however, hemorrhaging positions. Tudisca is through. Selman is through. Alexis Constant looks also to have gotten through. So CJ Bennett from Ireland, representing Team Victory Lane, was looking to close in on Noah Maton for the race lead, but it's Tudisca that is looking to do so now. Tudisca was one of the drivers very much in the mix for the Euro Cup title last week in Le Mans, and more to the point, well, he's going to look for the move up the inside. Through goes Tudisca on Maton. That's a change. the race lead here on the early part of lap number 3, and Tudiska did it with a fastest lap as well. He was right on the wheel tracks of Noah Maton. And just behind, well, you've got Telman, Constant, Bennett, Bursart, Carmen, Christopher Bingham up 5 places. Gillian Carmen sprung up from 15th on the grid, up 8 places, and is now 7th by lap 3. Gillian Cohen, Christopher Bingham, Yanni Bouillet and Sean Hogan from Ireland ran at the top 10. Q Ho Lee, the the inaugural OKN winner, World Cup winner at PF International, just over nearly the best part of a month ago now at PF International, rounds out the top 11 ahead of Roxanne Lantinga. Ably assisted as always by Luca Griggs. She's moved up 6 places, runner-up in the Ladies' Cup last week at the Mans. A couple of I think they might have seen a couple of flashes of some black and white on the Digi flag, whether that's going to be for a penalty or for a black and white warning flag, possibly for driving standards. Oh, we've lost Sky de Fournier down the bottom of the order. Quentin Dapoigny also remaining in 27th position. But Alessandro Tudiska and Noah Maton are leading the way. And what does that mean, folks? It means it's an RSD Karting 1-2 at the moment.
Oui, et derrière le duo de tête emmené donc par Alessandro Tudiska, eh bien on retrouve Alexis Constant, belle 3e place provisoire pour le rookie du peloton, l'un des rookies du peloton. Il a pris le meilleur sur Luca Thalmann, qui avait lui aussi pris un très bon départ, le revenant que l'on voit d'ailleurs très souvent du côté de la Fun Cup. Pour l'instant c'est la 4e position.
Yes, the 25 hours of Spa, if anyone might remember as well.
Tout à fait. Et d'ailleurs, pour la petite anecdote, je pense que c'est lui qui s'était offert la dernière pole position du côté de Zolder, Luca Thalmann.
Right.
Donc voilà, au niveau du sport automobile, c'est un nom bien connu ici en Belgique. Il est désormais sous la pression de CJ Bennett. Pendant un moment, le pilote irlandais a été un tout petit peu malmené dans ce début de manche qualificative après un bon départ malgré tout. Et là, il est en train de revenir et de reprendre un petit peu le rythme. Derrière, il ne faudra pas non plus traîner parce que Jens Bussart emmène le peloton des poursuivants.
Yeah, I just spotted Quentin Dapoigny's car start on the run towards Escargot. So Quentin having to watch by the sidelines, but Alessandro Tudiska looking to continue a good run of form at the moment. Fastest in his group in time qualifying. It was the opening group out of 3 today. Alexis Constant from AC Racing, new fastest lap of the race, 55.374. So, folks, I'm going to put a little bit of context here. Fastest laps in qualifying. Well, Alexis Constant is quicker than Tudiska's fastest lap in qualifying this morning, as well as Noah Maton. And what's more, Constant is quicker than the pair of them. He's just put in a 55.374. Lucas Teilman has now put in the best opening sector of Sector 1. CJ Bennett, purple, Sector 2. Oh, it's really heating up, and Bennett is trying to close in on Teilman in the 305 as they come across the line once again. Tudiska starting to put a little bit of distance between himself and Noah Maton. Gap now, 8 tenths and rising.
Ouais, la bagarre pour la 2e place à présent, parce que pendant ce temps, Alessandro Tudiska est en train de confirmer son leadership et de creuser l'écart en tête de cette course. Noah Maton, 2e, est désormais sous la pression d'Alexis Constant, décidément bien dans le coup ce vendredi, avec le meilleur tour en course pour l'instant, 55.374 pour le pilote belge, et il emmène derrière lui Luca Thalmann et CJ Bennett. Attention Noah Maton dans la bagarre, parce que s'il y en a un qui passe, il peut y en avoir 2 aussi, ou 3.
Yes, as we found out with Milan Marczak and Hinky Kalsman getting through Patrice Kowalski on the last heat. But CJ Bennett now holds the fastest lap of the race, 55.303 by the Irishman. But that gap looking very steady there for Alessandro Tudiska. It was exactly 0.813, but there is a move. And through on Alexis Constant goes Teilman. Great move there through turn 1. You could see the back end sort of darting it about a little bit. And there's CJ Bennett up the inside for good measure. Alexis Constant now demoted within 2 corners. Down, in 3 corners. Down to 5th place. CJ Bennett retakes 4th because Teilman now moves up a further spot. That's 4th. But Yanni Bouillet, in the meantime, has just also gotten the fastest lap of this race, 55.289.
Oui, c'est sûr qu'on a vu le dépassement de Lucas Tallmann et c'est CJ Bennett qui en a profité aussi pour passer devant Alexis Constant. Et tout ça fait l'affaire évidemment des pilotes RSD, de Noah Maton dans un premier temps parce que c'est lui qui était sous la menace d'Alexis Constant, de Lucas Tallmann et de CJ Bennett. Et puis dans un second temps d'Alessandro Tudisca, mais qui a toujours un avantage assez confortable finalement en tête de la course. 9 dixièmes d'avance sur l'un de ses équipiers à 2 minutes du terme, 2 minutes et un tour toujours. Derrière, on remarquera aussi la remontée de Julian Kamen à la 6e position. Le pilote néerlandais donc qui est en train de revenir petit à petit aux avant-postes. Et puis toujours grosse bagarre derrière, comme dans toutes les manches qualificatives. On a des pilotes qui essayent de remonter un maximum. Nouveau tour de bouclé avec Alessandro Tudisca qui est toujours devant. CJ Bennett qui passe devant Lucas Tallmann et qui s'empare de la 3e position dans cette manche qualificative. Ouais, le pilote irlandais qui avait pris un bon départ, qui avait été un peu malmené à un moment donné. Mais là, il confirme qu'il est bien dans le coup et que le rythme est présent dans cette fin de manche qualificative. 3e position. Mais attention parce que Lucas Tallmann n'a très certainement pas dit son dernier mot.
Yeah, I think you're right there. Lucas Tallmann not that well. He's waiting to put his final word into the conversation, give his last 2 cents to what CJ Bennett has been doing when it comes to the talking out on the circuit. But CJ Bennett, having had his fair share of trials and tribulations, Alexis Constant being chased down by Julian Cameron. And then you've also got Yanni Bouillet and Christopher Bingham rounding out the top 9. Sean Hogan still holding station in 10th place, but Tallmann closing in on Bennett through into T1. And the gap between Alessandro Tudisca and Noah Maton, between the RSD karting teammates, is just over 1.1 seconds after 10 laps. So we've got this and one more lap to go. A little bit of a skirmish coming through turn 1 just then, probably towards the bottom part of the top 10, I would imagine. Probably Sean Hogan versus Roxanne Lantinga. But nevertheless, Alexis Constant has started to close back in on Lucas Tallmann. Right, okay, we've got some penalties coming in. 2.93 and 3.25. 3-second time penalty for leaving the corridor with at least 1 or 2 wheels outside of it. So 3.25. Quentin Dapoigny, okay, is out of the race. 2.93. But we have got the final lap on the way. Lucas Tallmann, as I say, going through these penalties, got through on CJ Bennett, but Bennett's going to look for the move up the inside. Tallmann defends through turn number 2. Neatly done. Dennis Bullman was the other driver. And then we've also got a penalty for the 2.35 CJ Bennett jump start.
Ah, ça c'est une information.
Just like Kenki Coulter in the previous race.
Right.
But we're coming down to the final couple of corners. Well, he's making good his intention. Of course, Sam Balota is going to be in one of the upcoming races, as in the next one, and he's the man that they all want to beat this season. But the way things are going, it's going to be a pretty good result for RSD Karting. Out of the final right-hander, over the crest, through the slight piff-paff chicane, comes the 2.65. Alessandro Tudisca wins heat number 2. Groups B versus C ahead of Noah Maton. Lucas Tallmann starting 7th, finishing 3rd. CJ Bennett, well, is going to get a 5-second penalty post-race. And that is going to drop him down the order to about 11th position. And then you've also got the likes of Alexis Constant, Julian Cameron, Jens Bozart, Yanni Bouillet, Christopher Bingham and Sean Hogan rounding out the top 10. But great to see Alessandro Tudisca bring that confidence and that motivation from the double victory at Karting Genk to take his first win of the weekend.
Ouais, la victoire pour Alessandro Tudisca dans cette manche qualificative qui confirme qu'il sera bel et bien au rendez-vous pour se battre éventuellement pour le titre en fonction des résultats de Sambalota que l'on retrouvera dans quelques instants pour la prochaine manche qualificative. En attendant, la victoire d'Alessandro Tudisca devant Noah Maton et Lucas Talman. Belle prestation pour le revenant dans cette manche qualificative. CJ Bennett termine 4e devant Alexis Constant, premier rookie de cette manche qualificative. On a encore vu du beau spectacle dans cette manche et il y en aura encore dans la suivante avec cette fois la catégorie X30 Senior toujours, mais les groupes E et F qui seront en piste sur le coup de 15h20. En attendant, on va remettre tout le monde dans le parc fermé, dont le malheureux Luca Moulard qui n'aura donc pas pris part à cette manche qualificative alors qu'il était 3e sur la grille de départ.
time to get underway with Heat 3, Senior X30 Groups E versus F. Here's your starting grid. Dan Steeman starts on pole position. Alongside him will be championship leader from Dream Racing and Toyota's very own Sam Balota. Victor Louis and Aaron Ferrazzano, this year's Iame Euro Cup winner, starts on row number 2. Florent Dierdat and Clément Outron round out row 3. With Henk Voigt and Jack Buckley rounding out the top 4 rows. Charlie Gloom and the Netherlands' Riemer Blanc complete the top 10. Tihon Kinard and Otto Paikkonen round out row number 6 out of Philip Svensson from Norway, Simon Aqua from Belgium. Sam van der Eyden and Matthias van der Kerkhoff round out row number 8 with Sigurd Weimer, Dinan de Vos, Kimi Abraham and Kane Ince rounding out the top 20. Completing the 28-strong grid are Olivia Sampson, Maxime van der, Benjamin Borg, Jiro van Duivenvoorde, Kevin Lansinger all the way down in 25th ahead of Luis Aguiar, Viti Vaininen and Morocco's Yannis Martin rounding out the 28-strong grid. Well, more to the point, the big thing is it's now time to see if we can get a third different winner out of 3 different heats this afternoon. We are going to have a small break after this until 20 past 4 when we get back underway with another 3 of the 15 qualifying heats. Total of 21 for both junior and senior X30 combined here at Karting de Fagnes in Mariembourg. And a big thank you to everyone who's joined us so far over the course of the day. I think the best part of over 170 people at one point. Please don't forget to like, share and also subscribe whilst you get the opportunity. A small click on the subscribe button is something little for yourselves, but for us it means that we can help grow and expand this sport even more across the world here by live stream coverage. So Steeman, teammate to Mathis Marchot, who we've seen in the thick of things. And Steeman is no slouch either, but Balota is going to be happy that he's here again. And more to the point, when you look at the championship standings, well, remember what happened here 6.5 months ago? Sam Balota took a perfect score. And he was completely honest with myself and Simon at times that Genk is not his favourite track when it comes to qualifying. But he knows for a fact that when he's here, it's like knowing the back of the palm of your hand. You know it very intimately. You know every single nuance and every detail of the circuit, how it evolves over time. But it is time for Steeman and Balota to control the pace as we head into the tram lines for Heat 3, E versus F, X30 Senior for the final round of 2024. Plume of X30 125cc exhaust smoke in the background. Into the tram lines, revs rise, lights are on. Lights are out, we're underway. Good start by Steeman. Balota trying to keep to the outside as Victor Louis looking to the inside. And that is the 2:49 around. And that was Riemer Blanc from the Netherlands. But at the minute, Sam Balota holding on to third at the moment. There is an absolute smorgasbord of drivers trying to get one up on each other. Be careful going into turn 4 for the first time. Clément Outron is now up 1 position, now up into P5. Sam Balota now behind Victor Louis and Dan Steeman, the latter of which now leads the race after the early exchanges. So drivers making their way through into the escargot section. Line astern, you can see nigh on in that shot alone, pretty much most of the field with Riemer Blanc at the back end of the train.
Ouais, on est donc parti dans cette manche qualificative sous les chapeaux de roue, hein, avec un bon départ de la part de Dan Steeman qui vient de clôturer le premier tour. Bon départ également de la part de Victor Louis en 2e position, avec juste derrière lui le leader du championnat, Sam Balota. Départ pas évident hein, depuis la 2e position sur la grille de départ, mais très bien négocié de la part du pilote anversois qui est donc en 3e position devant Aaron Ferrazzano et Clément Outron. Les favoris qui sont pour l'instant en train de répondre présent aux avant-postes avec la pression ici mise par Sam Balota sur Victor Louis. Sam Balota qui sait qu'il est tout proche de l'exploit, tout proche d'une couronne de champion ce week-end. Lui qui court après depuis de nombreuses saisons, souvent battu par un certain Eli Goldschmidt qui n'est plus là cette saison, mais il y avait d'autres concurrents qui se sont mis sur sa route, mais pour l'instant c'est lui qui a bel et bien l'avantage. Et d'ailleurs, il confirme d'ailleurs qu'il a le rythme ce week-end avec le dépassement pour le gain de la 2e place. On sait que Sam Balota apprécie particulièrement ce tracé de Mariembourg. Il s'y était imposé ici au mois de mars, plus tôt dans la saison. Il avait marqué le maximum de points dans des conditions parfois sèches, parfois humides. Mais ici, il prouve bel et bien qu'il est bien parti pour aller chercher ce titre. Évidemment, il y a encore une longue route avant de confirmer ce titre. Mais en tout cas, il est bien en jambes et pourrait d'ailleurs revenir sur Dan Steenman qui fait un petit peu le bouchon là en tête de la course. On a un regroupement avec Dan Steenman, Sam Balota, Victor Louis et puis Aaron Ferrazzano qui n'est pas très loin non plus. Et Clément Outran va faire très certainement la jonction. Peut-être le changement de leader à l'issue de ce tour. Non, pas encore, mais c'est imminent. On a l'impression que ça va se décanter encore.
Well, also this season has been a season of comebacks, and Aaron Ferrazzano's has been the biggest talking point as Sam Balota back through and he finally gets the race lead here through turn number 3 on lap number 4. So the 290 last year running with VDK Racing, let's not forget, switched allegiances, and now there's going to be a move, and Dan Steenman has dropped down to 5th position. So that means that Sam Balota has gone up into the race lead, Victor Louis into 2nd, Ferrazzano 3rd, Outran 4th, and then Steenman closing out the top 5. A little bit further back is the 311 of Henk Voigt in 6th position. He's being chased down by Jack Buckley from Ireland. But Balota leads after lap number 4. But here goes Louis back up the inside for the race lead. Victor Louis takes the lead away. And in the meantime, Clément Outran has got passed through on Aaron Ferrazzano. Now, for those that do not remember the full history, as that is a move for 2nd. Oh, the elbows are out and Balota now knows he's got a fight on his hand. He's down to 5th. Balota was leading and the pendulum swings again. But the big thing is, folks, the team managers were welcome to the upstairs part of the cafeteria last night. And there was a very, very lengthy discussion with series organiser Thierry Lepine, Dave Ritson, our race director, also Mike Wagner from Camp Company GmbH. Big thank you to Camp Company for their provision of live streaming, live timing, race control, some of the members of the team that are actually here as well. So big thank you to Mike and his crew. But yeah, there was a lot of discussion. They were upstairs for the best part of 45 minutes last night about what is expected. This is a championship finale. We want to make sure that the racing is fast and it is fair, and that is exactly what we are getting. But tomorrow, believe you me, folks, 15 qualifying heats, the drivers will be tired. Their levels of energy may be pushed to the absolute low, but the adrenaline will kickstart things, and the finals will be where we see every single battle line be extinguished, and then the war for the title becomes apparent as to who will be those that will be in the mix in the top 36 final tomorrow evening.
Et pendant ce temps, le leadership qui revient à Victor Louis qui a profité finalement des différentes bagarres derrière lui pour creuser un tout petit peu l'écart. Mais regardez, Clément Outran n'est pas très loin, 3 dixièmes d'écart entre le leader et le pilote français Aaron Ferrazzano en embuscade. Même constat pour Dan Steenman. Et Sam Balota, les 5 premiers regroupés vraiment dans un mouchoir de poche. Et on a l'impression que dans ces 5-là, tout le monde peut aller s'imposer, pourquoi pas, dans cette manche qualificative. On sait que les enjeux sont importants lors de cette dernière course. On sait que certains sont en bagarre pour un podium au final du championnat. Et certains sont en bagarre pour le titre. Donc il y a vraiment des enjeux très importants. Et puis il y a ceux qui sont revenus ici avec la confiance boostée à bloc pour aller tenter une victoire, aller tenter de chercher une victoire de prestige. C'est le cas notamment d'Aaron Ferrazzano, dont on a déjà parlé ce week-end, ce vendredi, parce qu'il est le récent vainqueur de la Iame Eurocup au Mans. Et pendant qu'on en parle, eh bien, il est en train de revenir sur Victor Louis, qui vient de se faire dépasser par un certain Clément Outran. Et lui, il a une revanche à prendre par rapport à Genk. On le sait, il avait été privé d'une victoire sur tapis vert.
The final between him and Alessandro Giudica. which was a fair exchange, but it was decided and the decision stood that Outron would get a 5-second time penalty post-race. And Alessandro and Clément, oh, that's a dive and a half from Aaron. Aaron Ferrazzano gets through on Victor Louis. Dan Steeman waiting in the wings to pick up the pieces. Yeah, the move going through into turn 10 in the final on the last lap note thereof. Decision was made by race director at that point and said no, it's a 5-second advantage by contact, and thereby, well, the main thing was Alessandro Tudisca and Clément Outron shook hands as Dan Steeman dives up the inside through the opening corner, and that was on Victor Louis. So Dan Steeman in third. Sam Balota waiting in the wings now. He dives up the inside of Victor Louis, this time through turn number 3. 2.25 minutes still remaining on the timer, plus an additional lap. Clément Outron, the French driver from TB Kart, being hustled by Aaron Ferrazzano from Euro Karting. And for those remembering the story from last year, Aaron suffered a severe leg break at the IWF in 2023 in Portimao, has come back after significant rehab, hasn't had the X30 Senior Iame Benelux campaign that he would have liked, but he made sure he got his ticket to prove a point that he wasn't out of the running yet. Now the top 3 line astern, diving to the inside, through goes Ferrazzano, through goes Steeman, and now Outron drops to third. Steeman dives up the inside, oh, bit of a touch with Aaron Ferrazzano, who's off the track and into the gravel. Oh, slightest of touches, and it unsettles Aaron Ferrazzano, and he's off into the kiddie litter. Yellow flags out heading into turn number 2. But now this has upset the apple cart ever so slightly. Now we have got, leading the way, it's Dan Steeman, Clément Outron in second. Third, that is Sam Balota. Now Henk Voigt looks to be in this mix now, and is I think, by my recollection, that is the 311 in 5th place. So let's see. 2 laps remaining in Heat 3, Senior E versus F. Steeman leads from Outron, Balota. Then it's Victor Louis in 4th, Henk Voigt, Charlie Gloom, Florent Dierda, Sam van der Heyden, Jack Buckley and Otto Paikkonen running at the top 10. But what a disaster with just 2 and a bit laps to go for Aaron Ferrazzano off the circuit into the kitty litter backwards off of turn number 2. So the drivers making their way through into the escargot section as the timer is about to count down to 0. 3, 2, 1. So lap 11 out of 12 completed. 1,500 metres to go approximately as Steeman leads the field. The top quintet coming across the crest and up over the hill. Now onto the start-finish straight. 1 lap to go. Outron tried to rotate the kart to go towards the inside line at turn number 1 on Dan Steeman, who's holding on at the minute. The top 4 rounded out by Victor Louis, covered by just under half a second. Victor Louis going a little bit deeper into turn 3 than everybody else. And more to the point, well, Dan Steeman is holding on at the minute. But there's still an opportunity for someone else to maybe become the 3rd different race winner in as many heats. Through into escargot for the final time. Dan Steeman. And from KCR Racing, I believe, coming through into the final right-hander. And Outron trying to get a run, dives to the inside, might get out-dragged here by Sam Balota. But Dan Steeman is going to take it. Who's going to get second? It's Outron. Outron takes second by fractions, by next to nothing. That is 47 thousandths of a second, separating Clément Outron and Sam Balota for second position. Victor Louis and Henk Voigt ran out the top 5. Charlie Gloom 6th there to Florent Dierda, Sam van der Heyden, Jack Buckley, Otto Paikkonen, Simon Lacroix, Kevin Lantinga 25th to 12th, gaining 13 places at the end of that race. Dylan de Vos, Matthias van der Kerkhoff, Philip Svensson, they ran out the top 15 ahead of Sibu Weimer, Riemer Blanc, Kimi Abraham, Kane Ince and Tihon Kinau. Maxime Van Der, Jure van Duivenvoorde, Wiet de Ven and Olivia Sampson and Luis Aguiar round out the 25 finishers. Aaron Ferrazano unfortunately out on turn 2, lap 10. Benjamin Borg and Yanis Martin unfortunately retiring on lap number 5 apiece. Okay, let's head down to the interview zone just off of Parc Fermé and Scrutineering, as joining Simon Mirguet is our race winner, Dan Steenman. Over to you, Simon.
Okay, we are with Dan Steenman. Congratulations for this first win for you this weekend in the heat. What a heat for you! What a great battle with some drivers.
Yeah, it was a really great battle with some drivers. Eventually I won, and that was the most important thing. And yeah, of course the battles are nice, and yeah, I'm just happy with the win.
Yeah, what happened with Aaron Ferrazzano? That was really close.
Yeah, there was just a little collision. I thought he was going to the left, and then he went to the right suddenly, and then I had no way to go. Yeah, and then he goes off. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's up to the organization to do something with it.
Yeah, this is normally a win for you this time. A perfect start for your weekend,
yeah,
and for your ambition for this last round of the season.
Yeah, of course we're gonna go for the win, and it's a perfect start. Let's see for some more results.
Thank you, Dan Steenman, donc, qui vient de remporter en principe cette manche qualificative dans la catégorie X30 Senior.
So 5 races down so far today here at Karting de Fagnes for day 1 out of 3 for the final round of the 2024 Iame Series Benelux season. Already confirmed winners so far today: Louis Bazire and Bink van Scheindel from France and the Netherlands in Junior X30, and Patrice Kowalski already confirmed as our senior qualifying Heat 1 winner. But we're going to go to a brief break here on the live stream until just before 4:20 this afternoon. We'll have another 3 action-packed and dynamic senior X30 qualifying heats. We'll catch up with you in a short while.
On est donc reparti pour la suite des hostilités ici sur le karting des Fagnes de Mariembourg. Poursuivre ensemble les dernières manches qualificatives de la journée. Avec cette fois-ci la manche entre les groupes A et C, la grille de départ avec Milan Marczak en pole position. À ses côtés Alessandro Tudiska, suivi de Patrice Kowalewski, Alexis Constant, Tristan Krohn et Mathis Merskout. 7e place pour Loritz Sachs devant Kiodi, Raphaël Lenders, Schenogan, Thomas Van Vliet et Yanis Bouillet. La 13e position pour Koen de Rooij devant Sky de Fourny, Raphaël Do, Jules Van Nul, Joep Muller, Roxane Natinga. François Delati est 19e devant Denis Bouman, Max Ezel est 21e devant Gims Merkelbach, Sib Pagnar, Thibaut Ayers, Oli Meurs, Eli Dax, Ruby Verlinden, Anne-Charlotte Antuoro et enfin Gaëtan Brandbander.
Just noticed Ellie Dax did not cross the timing beam and there was a plume of exhaust smoke that I just saw from the dummy grid. So once the drivers get released some more, Ellie Dax will then be released. There you see folks, picture in picture, just off the dummy grid.
Oui, effectivement. Donc, information d'Alex, évidemment. Eli Dax qui est bloqué dans la pit lane pour l'instant sur la pré-grille et qui devra donc s'élancer finalement derrière tout le monde. C'est la règle dans ces courses de karting. Si on doit avoir malheureusement l'aide d'un mécanicien pour remettre le moteur en marche avant de repartir en course, eh bien, on devra partir depuis la queue du peloton. Même principe que pour tout à l'heure, 10 minutes et un tour au programme dans ces manches qualificatives, dans ces catégories seniors. C'était aussi le cas plus tôt dans l'après-midi avec la catégorie X30 Junior que l'on retrouvera demain. On va terminer la journée avec cette catégorie X30 Senior. Et tout à l'heure, eh bien, on avait eu un vainqueur ici, Alessandro Tudiska, et qui s'élancera ici en 2e position avec l'objectif évidemment d'aller chercher un 2e succès ce vendredi. Milan Marczak en première position qui lui va aller tenter de s'imposer et de profiter justement de cette pole pour aller marquer des points importants à l'issue des manches qualificatives. Le départ imminent avec le poleman qui donne le rythme, vous le voyez, peloton très compact. On est très lent du côté de Milan Marczak pour ce départ. Tout le monde est bien regroupé. Le départ maintenant avec les feux qui vont s'éteindre d'ici quelques instants. Et on est donc parti avec le bon départ de Milan Marczak. Mais c'est qui est parvenu à se mettre à l'intérieur là-bas? Je pense que c'est un pilote télécarte, Patrice Kowalewski. Je pense qu'il a réussi un bon départ. Oui, il est en 2e position. Et Milan Marczak est parvenu à garder la tête. Par contre, derrière, il y a eu des accrochages. Les drapeaux jaunes qui ont été déployés au niveau du 2e virage. Ça repart maintenant. Attention, un pilote qui est parti très large là-bas. Un pilote télécarte. Mais ce n'est pas Patrice Kowalewski en l'occurrence. Lui qui est bien parti dans cette manche qualificative. Regardez, il est en 2e position avec derrière lui Alessandro Tudiska. Et ensuite Mathis Merskout. On va boucler ce premier tour après un départ mouvementé pour certains. Et Milan Marczak qui a désormais la pression de 3 autres pilotes regroupés en tête. Marczak, Kowalewski, Tudiska, Merskout. Et changement de leader avec Patrice Kowalewski qui passe à l'attaque au 2e virage. Il est passé. Le tout maintenant, c'est de résister. Milan Marczak qui réplique. Et c'est qui vient s'intercaler maintenant? Alessandro Tudiska. Les hostilités sont bien lancées.
And Mathis Merskout has also gotten through in the meantime. So great work there by the 265 and the 250. 265 with Tudiska with the RSD Karting. Mathis Merskout running with KCR Racing. The same livery as Dan Steeman, who unfortunately was penalised with a 5-second time penalty for the incident involving Aaron Terrazano. So Clément Houton has been declared the winner of heat number 3. So yeah, Mathis Merskout trying to do what he can. But across the line, it is going to be Milan Marczak leading. heat number 4. But Tudiska pulls the trigger up the inside, neat and clean through T1. Kowalski looking for the move up the inside on Michaud, gets through, back up into third place. And there is, once again, Alexis Constant, the rookie, doing a great job on the 222, closing in on Mirguet, coming through the turn number 4, into 5. Now into 6. And, well, you can see that Alexis Constant taking a slightly different racing line to everybody else, where everyone else was in each other's wheel tracks at that point. Now into the escargot section. And once again, well, at the meantime, Tudiska looking to get another win to his credit here today, and he could be the first time, or the first two-time winner of the weekend so far. Anyone might remember the Iame Euro Cup a week ago. We had 8 races until we got our first two-time winner, but Marzak trying to get through, and now he tries. Now Kowalski tries to throw the dummy on him and gets through at turn number 2. Incredible awareness there from Patrice Kowalski, and now he's going after Tudiska, hand over fist, and he's going pedal to the metal.
Oui, très très belle bagarre au sein du peloton de tête avec un Alessandro Tudiska qui avait été attaqué timidement dans un premier temps par Milan Marczak. Cette attaque manquée de la part du Néerlandais a profité à Patrice Kowalski qui est repassé en deuxième position. Derrière, Alexis Constant est passé devant Mathis Mirguet, donc pour le gain de la 4e place. On a désormais 5 pilotes qui se détachent très clairement. On a ensuite le Danois Loritz Sachs qui est un petit peu isolé là en 6e position, pardon. Et puis on a le groupe de poursuivants, Mathis Mirguet qui réplique maintenant face à Alexis Constant. Changement donc pour la 4e position, et ça va faire des affaires du trio de tête.
So the top 3 starting to break away. Loritz Sachs, the fastest lap of the race, 55, 5, 3, 4 for the Dane in the 302 from Falcon Racing. He is now making this a more than a quintet. He's making it 6 drivers that are going to be gunning for the race lead and for the win. But Tudiska wants to get that first, well, that second win in his pocket, and that will really give him the confidence heading into tomorrow morning. We'll be starting early doors, let's not forget, ladies and gentlemen, because the timetable, at 9:40 in the morning, we'll be going live on the live stream here on Iame Series Benelux YouTube channel around about 9:30 with the traditional countdown. But Tudiska continuing to hold his line and stay ahead of Kowalski and Marczak. Mirguet, Constant, Saxe, Bouillet, Hogan, Lee and Van Hul round out the top 10. Tristan Kroon, another race to forget for the number 288 for the Netherlands, has dropped down 13 places and is currently running 18th, so he's running P5, but there's the move. Finally, Loritz Sachs gets through on Alexis Constant. That was down at turn number 7. Well, turn number 6, and he manages to get through in before 7 and makes it stick. So Alexis Constant has got to start fighting back again, and more to the point, try and put one up on the Dane. But again, another lap about to be put in the books. You can see a bit more sunshine here at Karting de Fagnes. And more to the point, well, new race leader. It is now Patrice Kowalski through on Alessandro Tudiska.
Ouais, 4 minutes du terme, 4 minutes et 1 tour. On a un nouveau leader, Patrice Kowalski, qui est passé devant Alessandro Tudiska, qui se retrouve maintenant avec juste derrière lui Milan Marczak. C'est pas fini entre ces trois-là, ça c'est une certitude. Derrière, on a aussi vu revenir Mathis Mirguet petit à petit. Les temps sont un peu plus durs pour Alexis Constant, qui avait pris un excellent envol, qui était dans le top 5 bien regroupé. Alexis Constant qui a vu passer devant lui le Danois Loritz Sachs. Alors on est en bagarre là pour la première position. Alessandro Tudiska qui va pouvoir dans quelques instants profiter de l'aspiration de Patrice Kowalski. Et peut-être un nouveau dépassement à venir au bout de cette ligne droite ici sur le karting des Fagnes de Mariembourg. Ce ne sera pas, en tout cas pour ce tour-ci, avec un Patrice Kowalski qui enchaîne les bons tours. Meilleur tour en course en 54,936. C'est pas mal de la part de ce rookie qui continue de grimper en puissance cette saison. À noter que le meilleur tour en course est maintenant à mettre à l'actif de Mathis Merskout, le 4e de ce peloton de tête, 54 916. Vous l'aurez compris, ça se joue à coup de centième et de millième dans cette manche qualificative entre les groupes A et C.
Mateusz Kowalski still leads the way on the TD car by not much. Ahead of Alessandro Tudiska, Milan Marczak and Mathis Merskolt. I did actually find out from the team. I said, how is it pronounced? Is it Merskolt or is it Mersholt? And they told me it was the latter. So here we go. Tudiska up the inside, through at C1. Neat as you like once again from the 265 from RSD Karting. Yeah, it was actually a podium. And I said, well, what's Mathis, how is Mathis' surname spelled? Said. And they said Mersholt. And I said, really? I said it was, I thought, well, us in commentary, you thought it was Mersholt. No, the H is there. So, Mathis Mersholt, apologies that we've been getting your name wrong for quite a bit of time, but still hasn't stopped him from following me and a few other people from the organisation on social media, and he is the quickest out there. 54.916, top 4 last time around. Covered after 8 laps by just over 7/10 of a second. Alessandro Tudiska for RSD Karting, second in the championship, the 265. Leads the way, quick glance over the right shoulder, and then Kowalski, Marczak, Mersholt, Zaxa, Constant, Bouillet, Lee, Hogan, and Francois Dilati, who's made up 9 places and is currently running at the top 10.
Oui, on est en fin de course et toujours l'indécision pour cette bagarre pour la victoire dans cette manche qualificative. Évidemment, on a un candidat au titre qui aimerait aller s'imposer une deuxième fois ce vendredi. C'est Alessandro Tudiska, mais évidemment pas simple avec les 3 pilotes qui sont juste derrière lui. Pas simple quand on sait que le phénomène de l'aspiration est très importante dans ces courses-ci. Même si pour l'instant il a plus l'avantage que Patrice Kowalewski sur son plus proche poursuivant. Mathis Merceau en 4e position, lui est en train peut-être d'attendre son heure aussi. 35 secondes encore au chronomètre, ça veut dire qu'il va rester quoi ça, 1 ou 2 tours dans cette manche, et on ferme déjà un tout petit peu les portes du côté d'Alessandro Tudiska. Mathis Merceau qui passe en 3e position devant Milan Marczak, le pilote néerlandais qui se retrouve 4e désormais. Et regardez, ça va peut-être se décider grâce à cette bagarre, avec un petit écart là qui s'est creusé avec Alessandro Tudiska et Patrice Kowalewski, les 2 leaders qui vont très certainement se disputer la victoire dans ces 2 derniers tours. Il va rester un tour au prochain pointage. Et là, il faut absolument ressortir correctement de ce dernier virage qui conditionne toute la ligne droite. Regardez, Patrice Kowalewski qui se cache derrière son volant pour gagner encore un peu en aérodynamisme. Et il va peut-être passer ici. Attention à l'intérieur, attention Alessandro Tudiska, ne pas trop en faire non plus dans la défense pour éviter l'accrochage. C'est passé en tout cas pour les deux avec Patrice Kowalewski qui entame ce dernier tour à présent en tête de la course. Ça va être très très chaud dans le dernier virage. Regardez Patrice Kowalewski qui ferme les portes partout où il peut. Et regardez, parce que derrière on a Loritz Sachs qui revient. Regardez, on est vraiment collés les uns aux autres. Et ça devrait le faire pour Patrice Kowalewski qui va se déporter vers l'intérieur. Le dernier freinage. Oh, attention, avec une victoire qui va échapper à Patrice Kowalewski. Et c'est Milan Marczak qui va très certainement
venir
s'imposer.
Tudiska by 22 thousandths. Oh my goodness, we have got a weekend on our hands. I thought, well, Marczak got the undercut going through the final corner. And Tudiska went, no way this is happening. Photo finish across the line. I mean, incredible. Just looking back at it, yeah, it was mind-blowing. But Alessandro Tudiska, 2 for 2, first 2-time winner of the weekend, wins by 22 thousandths. Milan Marczak, close, but not close enough quite yet. I know for a fact that the Dutch driver for DFK is going to get a win this weekend. I guarantee it. If he can get pole, you're damn sure he can get a win this weekend. Laurit Saxa makes a good move up the order from 7th to 3rd place, ahead of Mathis Merschalt. Patrice Kowalski 5th. Alexis Constant, Yanni Bouillet, Hugh Holly, François Delati and Sean Hogan round out the top 10. We've also had a 5-second time penalty being given to Thibaut Wise for a push to pass. Down in 24th, that will drop him to 28th. So, Koen de Rooij, Thomas van Vliet, Tristan Kroon, Jules van Hul, Job Muller, Sky de Forny, Roxanne Lantinga, Rafael Leenders, Max Hazel, Gims Meckelbach. Then we got Dennis Bowman, Stevie Pagana, Rafael Dahl, Thibaut Wise, Ollie Neurs, Ruby Verlinden, Ellie Dax and Alan Charlotte Anturo and Gaetan de Brabandera out on lap 8. time for our penultimate Senior X30 heat of the day, here at day 1 out of 3 for Iame Series Benelux 2024, the season finale. Marcus Gloom starts on pole position. Joining him on the front row will be Dan Steeman, who was given a post-race penalty after an earlier heat. Henki Kelter and Victor Louis ran at row 2 ahead of Nicole Wouters and Florent Dirda. Esteban Valcreve, Henk Voigt, Arthur Vasseur and Charlie Gloom ran at the top 10. Clément Masson and Thierry Quina on row number 6 ahead of Griffin Himmelset and Philip Svensson. Annabelle Bryan and Sven van der Heyden ran at row 8 ahead of Thibaut Gillard and Steve Weimer, with Raffaele Santocono and Kimi Abraham running at the top 20. Kevin Bacher, Olivia Sampson, Jan Wellens, Benjamin Borg, Luke Taylor, Kevin Lantinga, Kenneth Van Wickerker and Piet de Venenen round out the grid. So, confirmed winners so far in Senior X30, Patrice Kowalski, Heat 1. Heat 2, Alessandro Tedesca, and the recent Heat number 3, Clément Houton takes the win. So, more to the point, well, we've got this and one more to go, and then we'll be ready to go racing again. A total of 19 qualifying heat, a total of 14 qualifying heats, so we'll have 10 senior qualifying heats, 4 junior qualifying heats, then we'll have the A and the B finals respectively before we conclude the 2024 Iame Series Benelux season for these drivers, and also our junior X30s, where we'll not only give away the trophies for the weekend results, but then also the championship trophies as well. I have clapped eyes on them very, very briefly earlier on today. They look magnificent, and they'll be a worthy little addition to the mantelpiece for whoever becomes our 2024 X30 Junior and Senior champions. Previous history: Sascha van Pambosch was last year's X30 Junior Iame Series Benelux champion, and Eddie Goldstein with his 4th successive title, who's now moved on to KZ, also took his Senior X30 title back last year in 2023. Right, we have got a red flag situation on the circuit. Red flag situation on the circuit, so that has been called by race director Dave Ritson. So the field being lined up. Not too sure of the circumstance, but they will be going into, well, they're trying to go into a single file. It's like a merging lane on going into the on the auto route heading towards Brussels Zandvoortem, and then you've got to use the ring road, and everyone's trying to get into the left into the right-hand lane. More to the point, we have, as I said, a red flag stoppage. So everyone already out on track. So very shortly, I would imagine that we're going to get things underway very, very shortly. Looks like there is a possible issue with the lights, but they are currently working on that as we speak. Hopefully we'll be getting back underway very, very shortly. So drivers being instructed by race director Dave Ritson to get out of the carts, it looks like. So red lights are on at the moment as we have a red flag stoppage just before we got underway with Heat 5, Groups D versus E for Senior X30. So just found out that it was the starting lights that have caused the red flag stoppage. This does happen from time to time. There are some unexplainable technical difficulties, but these things do happen. It's part and parcel of racing. So they have put everyone back onto a full restart. So we should be getting underway very, very shortly. Of course, at this point, sometimes these things do happen, Seymour. It's not the first time. It probably may not be the last time that technical difficulties do occur. And it's not necessarily down to something that's happened out on track, but sometimes that can be happening with the infrastructure of the circuit, can't it?
Ouais, et donc on est pour l'instant en train d'attendre de remettre tout en ordre pour relancer les candidats donc de la catégorie X30 Senior. Tout le monde est remonté dans son baquet et on devrait pouvoir relancer les hostilités dans les prochaines minutes. Mais c'est vrai que ce n'est pas la première fois que ce genre de situation arrive cette saison, mais on privilégie évidemment la sécurité avant tout et avant toute autre chose. On ne prendra pas de risque, on ne mettra pas non plus certains pilotes dans la confusion parce que ça aussi c'est important.
Et aussi la santé des pilotes, particulièrement avec les choses techniques qui nous avons de temps en temps des difficultés au circuit, but they are back in formation. So thank you very much for everyone that has been with us all the way through this afternoon. Of course, the live stream will start tomorrow morning at 9:30. So they restart the engines here. So let's quickly take you through the grid once again. Marcus Klum starts on pole position. Dan Steeman alongside on the front row with Henki Kaltren and Victor Louis. Mirko Wouters, Florian Deerda, Esteban Valkreev and Henk Voigt, Arthur Vasseur and Charlie Gloom round out the top 10. Clément Massot, Thierry Kinard, Griffin Hinwiset, Philip Svensson, Annabelle Bryan, Sam van der Hayden, Thibaut Gillard, Sibi Weimer, Raffaele Santocorno and Kibi Abraham round out the top 20 with Kevin Barker, Olivia Sampson, Keanu Wellens, Benjamin Borg, Luke Taylor, Kevin Mantinga, Kenneth Van Melkerker and Luke Devenanen rounding out the 28 strong. So we are going to get things back underway once again here at Karting d'Iffany for Heat 5 into 15. It's always quite interesting when you see the amount of entrants and then you go, that's going to be a long day. Well, we've got a long one. We've got a long day tomorrow, folks, because it will be Championship Saturday. Unusual for me to say that because the last few rounds I've been doing, it's been Championship Sunday. But we will have Championship Sunday anyway when Mini X30, Mini Rookie, Gentleman Masters and KA100 along with Senior Cup will join us for their one-day race weekend. What's the point? The thing is, at the moment, we have had 3 different winners from 4 different races. Can we make it a 4th different winner in race number 5? Well, Caltron on the road won a race earlier, but he got demoted, and that was the opening heat of the weekend. So Gloom and Steeman on the front row, Caltron and Louis on row number 2. Red lights ignited on the starting gantry ahead of 10 minutes plus an additional lap, and we're in the tram lines. Revs rise, lights are on, lights are out, we're underway. And a good start by Marcus Gloom, but a big moment. Oh, I did hear a big old whack, and then straight away the 2:03 has ended up around, and that was the Luxembourger, Florent Dierda. Hit hard and spun around at turn number 1 and already onto the very, very wet grass. Now, obviously, with the atmospherics we've got at the moment, it's not going to be easy. You hit that wet grass, you are literally like a passenger on an ice rink as we head through into turn 6 for the first time. Everyone in single file formation. But at the moment, looks like it's Marcus Gloom and Dan Steeman leading the way as we head into Escargot. Bit of argy-bargy at the back end of the field, but it is now
Henki Kaltren.
Yes, I was just about to say Henki Kaltren. Oh, someone makes a bit of a stumble coming into the penultimate right-hander on the circuit. You can see where drivers have already been off earlier on this weekend as well. But it is Henki Kaltren that leads. Dan Steeman trying to go for the race lead. Marcus Klum 3rd, Marco Wouters. Okay, right, along with Florent Dierda. Who else dropped? Well, not really that many people. Florent Dierda just literally got punted and Well, that just goes to show when you're starting 6th on the grid, there's always going to be a little bit of a concertina melee run down to turn number 1, but Counteren leads from Steenman. Gloom, that's Marcus Gloom in 3rd. Mirguet Wolters, I think, has now got through. Yes, he has. That's the Iceland Grand Prix livery, if ever I saw it. Ahead of, that is going to be Victor Louis, who rounds out the top 5. Of course, Iceland's Grand Prix livery, it reminds me very much of the efforts of a certain team in Formula 1 in 2009 that won the F1 World Championship and Drivers' title that year, Braun GP.
L'attaque de Victor Louis qui passe en 4e position maintenant, juste devant, c'était Mirko Wouters qui était en 4e position jusque-là. Beau dépassement clair et net de la part de Victor Louis. On avait ces 5 pilotes qui sont aux avant-postes et qui sont en train de creuser l'écart par rapport à leurs poursuivants. Avec ce dépassement, il y a un petit écart qui s'est créé entre Marcus Glum, le poleman, et Victor Louis. Mais Victor Louis affiche pour l'instant un très bon rythme et il pourrait revenir très rapidement sur le trio de tête, emmené par un Henki Kalteren qui est à la recherche de sa première victoire. Tout à l'heure, il était passé en tête, le drapeau à damier, mais il avait été pénalisé dans la foulée pour avoir en tout cas
un peu plus avant.
Oui, un départ anticipé en tout cas de la part d'Henki Kalteren. Pendant ce temps, c'est Dan Steenman, le pilote néerlandais, qui passe en tête de cette manche qualificative. Alors on sait très bien que ce n'est pas toujours la meilleure position si les autres sont juste derrière vous, parce que vous avez ce fameux phénomène de l'aspiration qui a toute son importance, et notamment ici à Mariembourg, avec une ligne droite d'arrivée qui est toujours très longue, avec ce premier virage qui est toujours une belle opportunité de dépassement. Et donc pour l'instant la pression dans ce cadre-ci, avec un regroupement en tête, eh bien c'est Dan Steenman qui l'a en premier. Attention à la bagarre derrière, parce que Marcus Glum, lui, a connu une première manche qualificative tout à l'heure assez délicate, assez compliquée. Il a envie de prouver qu'il a bel et bien le rythme et qu'il ne doit pas son excellent chrono en qualification au hasard. Et regardez qui vient s'intercaler en 3e position, c'est Victor Louis. Lui aussi, il a eu des hauts et des bas cette saison, et il a clairement l'intention de venir jouer aux avant-postes ici à Mariembourg. C'est un tracé qu'il connaît particulièrement bien, évidemment. Mais tous le connaissent très bien. Désormais, ce tracé de Mariembourg, ça fait des années pour certains que l'on participe à ces courses de la Iame Series Benelux. Et donc, les moindres recoins de ce karting des Fagnes, tout le monde les connaît finalement.
Et aussi, regarde la bagarre après le top 5 en ce moment pour la 6e place entre Clément Massot, Annabelle Prion et Henk Voigt. So, battle for 6 also raging on with intensity. Clément Massot, who's just managed to get through on Annabelle Bryan, who was up 9 places early doors. But here goes Henki Kalteren, pulls the trigger up the inside, returns the favour to Dan Steenman. But you can sense that Victor Louis is also on the epicenter. Oh, a little bit of a rub on the back bumper of the Dutch driver from Victor Louis, who gets sideways under, breaking through turn 3. Victor Louis now gets through and now takes 2nd position. A little bit of a bump and run, as the Australian supercars crowd would call it. But the main thing was Steenman did not lose out big time. But Marcus Glum has just got through on him for 3rd place. Mirguet Wolters for Iceland's Grand Prix on the heels of Dan Steenman from KCR Racing. Clément Massot, Annabelle Bryan and Henk Voigt still embroiled in that trio of carts, squabbling away. Esteban Volkov and Tihon Kinard rounding out the top 10. Kevin Lantinga up 11 places, the elder brother of Roxanne Lantinga, who we'll see in action a little bit later on. Now up to 15th. It could be a little bit more, it might be more than that very, very shortly. But no, Lantinga holds station in 15th place. But wow, what can you say at the battle at the front end of the field? But Kalteren has got pace, and he's also got purchase in terms of an advantage over Victor Louis. Gap just under 6 tenths.
Oui, 5 dixièmes d'écart entre le leader et son plus proche poursuivant, entre Henki Kalteren et Victor Louis, 5 dixièmes, mais un écart qui pourrait là aussi diminuer très fortement dans les prochaines minutes. 3 minutes 40 et un tour encore au programme de cette manche qualificative. Derrière, eh bien, on s'est bagarré pour la 3e position. Markus Glum qui a repris l'avantage sur Dan Steinman. On a perdu un tout petit peu le contact par rapport aux deux leaders, et regardez, ça se barre encore avec Dan Steinman qui est passé à l'intérieur du premier virage. C'est une tradition ici à Mariembourg évidemment, mais on n'a pas tenté de fermer plus que ça la porte du côté de Markus Glum. Et attention, parce que derrière Mirko Wouters pourrait encore profiter de cette bagarre pour revenir un peu plus. Derrière, on a vu le groupe des poursuivants, du deuxième groupe de poursuivants, avec Clément Massot qui devance pour l'instant Annabelle Briand et Henk Vuijk, deux pilotes néerlandais, donc juste derrière Clément Massot qui a effectué une belle remontée depuis le début de cette manche qualificative. 5 places de gagner pour celui qui s'était imposé du côté de Genk en juillet. On s'en souvient, dans une finale qui avait été assez chaotique en termes de conditions météo, avec la pluie qui s'était invitée alors que la plupart des pilotes étaient partis en pneus slick, à l'exception évidemment de Clément Massot notamment, qui était parti dernier et qui avait finalement remporté cette finale. Et ici, il prouve qu'il peut aussi s'inviter à la bagarre aux avant-postes, même sans profiter de conditions exceptionnelles. Derrière, on a toujours cette bagarre pour la 3e position, avec Dan Steinman qui a désormais pris un peu l'avantage sur Markus Glum, qui voit revenir Mirko Wouters maintenant. Donc on est toujours sur cette bagarre pour la 6e position. Clément Massot juste devant l'une des féminines du peloton, Annabelle Briand, qui est là en 7e position et qui avait brillé aussi lors de la Ladies Cup au Mans.
She did really well on the Sunday morning, really well. Great question from AVW on YouTube. Is Arthur de Donker driving under UAE license, or is it his nationality? Well, the family's Belgian, if I remember correctly, because I noticed the race suit he was wearing this morning in the wet was Brand Racing. Danny Brandt from the Netherlands, known very well. If I remember correctly, the family's Belgian, but I think he is actually he's actually got the UAE nationality, because I think he might have been born there. I'm not 100% sure, but we will double check on that for you. That's actually a really good question when a driver races under a different nation, but also there are a lot of drivers that I know from the UAE anyway that have raced under UAE nationality, some of which have actually been born in the Emirates. So we'll get back to you. If we don't get back to you today, we'll find out ready in time for the stream tomorrow, so don't worry about that. 34 seconds to go. Kaltren holding on to the race lead. Louis in second. Steeman in third. Wouters up the inside of Gloom. That's a great move. Through at turn number 3. You said turn 1's a great place. Turn 3 is also pretty magnificent in its own right when you get the run coming out of turn number 2. But Kaltren with 15 seconds to go. Next time around, we are going to be on the final lap of the race, because we are coming towards the end of the time hitting 0 here at Mariembourg, and you can already see a little bit of the sunlight is starting to fade. I mean, a week ago at Le Mans, the sunset was around about 7:30 in the evening time, and to be honest, when we left the circuit yesterday, one more lap to go. And Kaltren still leads, and more to the point there, Steeman trying to get through on Victor Louis. Right, let's have a look. Sunset due at 18:58 local time. Victor Louis' back axle snapping under hard braking into turn number 3 as the leaders go through turn 4 for the final time. Kaltren has got daylight, because Louis having to defend against Steeman on the run down to turn number 6. Louis defends. Steeman tries to force the issue. Wouters holding on in front of Markus Glum as we go into Escargot for the final time for these drivers for today. Yellow flags going into, Arthur Vasseur, that could be the kart that's off the circuit. But out of the final, right-hander. Over the crest we go. Finally, Henki Kaltren takes a race win in heat number 5. He was denied earlier, and it's an RSD 1-2 courtesy of Victor Louis with KCR's Dan Steeman rounding out the top 3. Miracle Wouters from EGP ahead of Marcus Gloom, with Annabelle Bryan bettering Clément Massot in the dying stages. She takes 6th ahead of Clément Massot. Henk Voigt, Tihon Kinau and Esteban Volgrave rounding out the top 10. Thibaut Gillard, Charlie Gloom, Kevin Lantinga makes it to 13th ahead of Sam van der Heyden. Griffin Himvinset completing the top 15. Kevin Bucker, Sibi Weimar, Keanu Valens, Kibi Abraham, Luke Taylor and Philip Swenson ran at the top 21, with Raffaele Santocorno, Vitte Venenen, Olivia Sampson, Benjamin Borg and Kenneth van Mokerker rounding out the 26 finishers. Unfortunately, after Vassal we saw on the penultimate right-hander on the left-hand side of the corner, out of the cart and assisted by the marshals, with Florian Dearda after that turn 1, lap 1 incident. 203 from Luxembourg would retire on the spot.
denken, daar zat een bronstige stier. laatste voor vandaag, Franco.
Mesdames et messieurs, préparez-vous à vivre la dernière manche qualificative de cette journée avec la catégorie X30 Senior toujours. Les groupes B et F en piste actuellement. La grille de départ que vous découvrez à l'instant avec Noah Maton en pole position, Sam Balota à la deuxième place. Il devance Luca Moulard, Aaron Ferrazzano et Seji Bennett. Clément Outran démarre sixième devant Luca Talman, Jack Buckley, Angelo Melli et Rimmer Blanc pour compléter le top 10. Jens Dessart démarre à 11e devant Otto Peikonen, Christopher Begam, Simon Lacroix et Julian Kamen. 16e position pour Matthias van de Kerkhove. Rhys Newburn démarre à 17e devant Dinan De Vos, Max Storm, Kainins, Tayo Vlichen, Maxime Van Laar, Luca Montebello. Hiro van de Uvenvoorde démarre à 24e. Et puis on retrouve pour compléter ce classement Marit Skurman, Luis Aguillard, Quentin Dapoigny et Yanis Martin. Voilà pour cette grille de départ de la manche qualificative numéro 6 dans cette catégorie X30 Senior. On vous le disait il y a quelques instants, Noah Maton qui partira en pole position avec Sam Balota à ses côtés. Sam Balota, leader du championnat avec 22 points d'avance devant Alessandro Tudisca au moment d'aborder ce dernier rendez-vous de la saison. Un avantage confortable, pourrait-on dire, mais dans cette catégorie X30 Senior, les surprises sont parfois nombreuses. Dans la première manche qualificative que l'Anversois a disputée, ça s'est plutôt bien passé tout à l'heure. Donc pour l'instant, Sam Balota qui maîtrise bien son sujet, va-t-il pouvoir confirmer dans quelques instants? Réponse dans 10 minutes et un tour. On ne change pas le programme des manches qualificatives, toujours le même, 10 minutes et un tour au programme, avec à nouveau une belle bagarre en perspective parce que derrière il y a des pilotes qui doivent se montrer. On pense notamment à Aaron Ferrazzano, pilote malheureux dans sa première manche qualificative avec un accrochage, il y a un incident avec Dan Steinman qui avait réduit à néant tous les espoirs de bons résultats d'Aaron Ferrazzano dans cette manche qualificative. Mais on sait qu'il a le rythme pour jouer aux avant-postes et donc pour lui maintenant il n'a plus le choix. Il doit absolument être aux avant-postes et terminer pour bien faire dans le top 3 de chaque manche qualificative. Objectif, se qualifier pour la grande finale de demain qui regroupera les 36 meilleurs pilotes du week-end. Le départ imminent. Les feux qui sont éteints et on est parti donc dans cette dernière manche qualificative avec le meilleur des départs pour Noah Maton qui a pu conserver sa première position. Sam Balota en deuxième place là et Aaron Ferrazzano qui passe troisième à l'issue de ce deuxième virage. Clément Outran à la quatrième position. Attention derrière, c'est très serré et on a cet effet entonnoir toujours dans ces premiers virages. Il faut absolument éviter tout contact et regardez derrière au virage du raccordement. Plusieurs pilotes qui ont été impliqués. Oui, il y en a plusieurs là. Alors de qui est-ce qu'il s'agit? On a un pilote au niveau du virage du raccordement, on en a un peu plus haut sur le tracé et derrière regardez encore deux pilotes qui s'accrochent et là ça va être difficile de revenir. Regardez, c'est difficile de sortir de cette herbe. Mais oui, il a beaucoup plu ces derniers jours et forcément ça fait un petit peu effet sable mouvement, hein. On reste un petit peu pendu. Pendant ce temps-là, Sam Balota vient de prendre le leadership. Attention à la réplique de Noah Maton. Il parvient à se mettre à l'intérieur au deuxième virage. Et attention à l'attaque d'Aaron Ferrazzano derrière. Eh bien, dites-moi, dans cette dernière manche, il y a de l'action déjà avec Sam Balota, là, qui vient de passer pour de bon, en tête.
Well, the thing is, Belota now he's got a fight. Luis Aguiar was one of the drivers I spotted. It was Yanis Martin that was coming out of turn 4 backwards on the opening lap. Maxime Bonner and Kane instant dropped. Marit Schurman also has dropped a couple of positions as well. So it might have been Aguiar and Schurman coming together. But yeah, Belota's now holding onto the train. That is 319 Kane Ince, penultimate right-hander off the circuit and out, I'm afraid. We're down to 25 runners and riders, but that first lap, especially towards the back end of the field, was particularly messy, if I have to be completely honest. But Belota, you know, just doing what he needs to do, keeping that cart as wide as possible, keeping his arms and elbows sharpened. But here comes Aaron Ferrazzano up the inside of Normanton, and Clément Outron also takes complete advantage of the situation, and Maton having to sort of like not really fight it, because at that point, when you're going through a corner like that and it's tightening on the radius, you have to think, do I chance it and hold off, or do I not chance it and let them go through? Make it easier for me to stay as high up the order as possible to give myself the maximum opportunity to get into tomorrow's finals. That is the big thing that some of these drivers, including Aaron Ferrazzano, has the opportunity to do. Now, of course, yes, Aaron had a DNF through that incident with Dan Steeman in the opening race. But there is nothing to say that 4 races will go his way and he could be in the top 36. Point proven right there. Through on Sam Balota. And when you think about it, Aaron Ferrazzano had only just finished his rehab when we were here 6.5 months ago. There's Clément Outron going through. CJ Bennett now wheel to wheel with Noah Maton. Luca Moulin manages to get through on the Irishman from victory lane. And that just goes to show once again, it is about millimetre precision in Senior X30. The category Rennes of this particular, you know, of Iame competition. The main thing is these drivers are in some ways, they're an inspiration to the younger drivers that we'll see on Sunday. We've got a yellow. Right, Jens Buzzard has dropped it, coming out of the penultimate right-hander. I saw the cart in the gravel. Driver is not with cart, so that says to me has walked away under his own steam. But Aaron Ferrazzano, once again, now leads the qualifying heat with Outron second. Balota down to third. Sam has just got to do one thing, and it's got to be staying ahead of Alessandro Tudisca, Dan Steeman, you know, everybody else that's battling him for the championship standings. When you look at Noah Maton, who's fighting with him at the sharper end. Well, Noah Maton's a little bit further away. Clément Outron, who's ahead of Balota. Outron is fifth. Calteron, who we've just seen in action a moment ago. These drivers are going to be they're going to have no other choice. They're going to have to fight for the win this weekend. But more importantly, when you're Sam Balota and you come back to a track where you 6.5 months ago got a maximum 160 points to start your weekend off and your season off in the right way. Folks, the scores are based on all classes, apart from KA 100, the best 9 out of 10 scores. You get an exclusion. That goes towards your points tally. You cannot discount it.
Oui, regardez, les temps sont relativement durs dans un premier temps pour Noah Maton, hein, le poleman qui a perdu quelques positions. Il est désormais 4e sous la pression de Luca Moulard. Devant, regardez, ça se bat hein, pour la première place entre Aaron Ferrazzano en tête désormais devant le français Clément Outron et l'anversois Sam Balota, leader du championnat. Derrière, il y a un écart qui s'est creusé avec Maton en 4e position, Moulard en 5e et Lucas Talman, le revenant, à la 6e place. Et regardez, un changement de leader imminent. Voilà, ça passe pour Clément Outron, nouveau leader dans cette manche qualificative. Clément Outron qui a déjà été vainqueur dans ces manches qualificatives aujourd'hui. Il pourrait bien doubler la mise en cette fin de journée. Mais une chose est sûre, ce n'est pas terminé. 4 minutes et un tour encore au programme de cette manche, avec un Aaron Ferrazzano qui sera très incisif jusqu'au bout. On l'a dit en début de manche, il n'a pas le choix, il doit absolument marquer le moins de points possible, donc être le plus haut dans la hiérarchie pour pouvoir espérer se qualifier pour la finale suite à son abandon dans la manche, dans sa manche précédente, avec un nouveau tour de bouclé et le meilleur tour en course pour Luca Moulard en 55-281. Regardez, ça revient un tout petit peu, hein. Derrière on a l'impression, avec un écart d'1 seconde 1 entre Clément Outran et Noah Maton. Donc effectivement, si devant ça devait se battre, derrière ça pourrait revenir. Et donc ça pourrait nous promettre une fin de course assez palpitante. Attention à ne pas prendre trop de risques dans ces manches qualificatives, on l'a dit, c'est la régularité qui fera la différence dans cet exercice. Et attention aussi aux différents drapeaux jaunes, hein, qu'on a vus tout au long de cette manche qualificative, parce que c'est à ces endroits-là qu'il ne faut absolument pas dépasser sous peine d'être pénalisé. Clément Outran, Aaron Ferrazzano, Sam Balota, c'est le trio de tête pour l'instant. Est-ce que Noah Maton et Luca Moulard vont pouvoir venir se mêler à la bagarre? Réponse dans quelques minutes.
Well, just over 2.5 minutes to go. Clément Outran looking to become the second two-time winner of this weekend so far. Leads by a fraction, 65 thousandths ahead of Adam Verrazzano. Sam Balota rounding out the top three, covered by just over 3/10. Noah Maton a further 6/10 behind in fourth. Luca Moulard, Lucas Telman. Then we've got Rima Blanc, CJ Bennett, Gillian Carmen, Simon Lacroix rounding out the top 10. The leaders coming down. There you can see through that wonderful shot off of turn 5 how low the sun is starting to get. We are about an hour and a half away from sunset here in Mariembourg, but the top three make their way out of Escargot. We are now on lap number 9, so after this it will be 3 to go. There's a back marker up ahead. Could be Marth Schulman in the 229 representing the Netherlands. But at the minute, well, Aaron Ferrazzano is waiting for his opportunity. He's not going to pull the trigger yet. A minute and a half to go. We've got 3 laps remaining. And still, the gap was less than 6/100ths of a second between Clément Outran and Aaron Ferrazzano after 9 laps of racing. On to lap 10, we've gone. And that is the 229 of Marth Schurman, who is going to have to watch out because there are faster drivers approaching. Noah Maton is closing in on the top trio. Into turn 6 we go from the second from last time. Before we shut things down for the evening. And now, yes, blue flags are waving. Schurman's got to stay out of the way, but it's also down to the responsibility of the drivers in front. Aaron Ferrazzano goes with, so does Balota. Maton now closes in. 2 laps remaining. That's just over 2.8 kilometres of racing still to go. And once again, the gap less than 6/100ths of a second between first and second position. Outran holding on to the race lead. When does Aaron Ferrazzano pull the trigger to get through? Not quite. Not through turn 3, not through turn 4. Now the run down into 5 and 6. Incredible change of sideways lateral momentum because the tyres these drivers are using, which are the Comet K3Hs, are being put through the ringer. The drivers have 1 set plus an additional front and rear tyre to use. Timer has expired. We've got 1 more lap to go and a time penalty for the 249 Rima Blanc. 3 seconds for 1 to 2 wheels outside of the corridors. But we go on to the final lap. It's Outran versus Ferrazzano versus Balota versus Maton. As Ferrazzano, oh, that was high and wide, and then swung it with complete conviction. But there was Outran ready to block the door. Through into turn 3. Now Balota starts defending from Noah Maton in the battle for P3. Into turn 4. Balota still ahead of Maton. Now into 5, into 6. You've got to be brave and hard on the anchors. And Balota holds on to that 3rd place. And that has allowed Lucas Telman and Luca Moulard to close on in as we're heading down to the final few corners. You can see off of turn number 4 the glint of the sunlight on the tarmac as Ferrazzano trying to do the crisscross here through the final corner. He's going to try and get the run on Outram. Coming out of the final corner, through across the line. It's going to be a run, a drag race to the finish. Outram takes the win by 47 thousandths of a second ahead of Aaron Ferrazzano. Sambalota takes a well, not quite comfortable, but considerably fine third place. Noah Maton, Lucas Telman, Luca Moulard, CJ Bennett, Julian Carmen, Matthias van der Kerkhofer and Simon Lacroix round out the top 10. Penalties coming in, also 3:12 has just had a time penalty. Jens Burzart, who retired on lap 2 for causing a collision. So Riemer Blanc, Dinan de Vos, Luca Montebello, Max Storm, Reese Newburn and Tyrell Fliegen round out the top 16. Andre Malie, Jiro van Duivenvoorde, Jack Buckley, Otto Paikkonen round out the top 20 with Christopher Bingham, Quentin Dapoigny, Yanni Martin and Marit Schurman rounding at the 24 finishers. Jens Burzart, Kane Ince, Maxime Wandler and Louis Aguiar from Portugal round out the non-finishers out of 4 drivers from 2028 that we had here in X30 Senior. Heat 6, B versus F. But the action resumes tomorrow morning as we get ready to crown an X30 Senior champion for 2024. Okay, for the final time today, let's head down to Simon Mirguet on the interview zone as he's joined by TB Cuts Clément Outram.
Et voilà, on termine donc cette journée avec Clément Outram, dernier vainqueur de la journée en X30 Senior. Clément, début de week-end parfait pour vous avec 2 victoires en 2 manches qualificatives.
Ouais, c'est un week-end qui commence très bien, à part les qualifs où on a fait un peu du bazar et du coup je me retrouve un peu loin, mais c'est vrai que les 2 manches là nous sauvent un peu pour la finale et on va voir demain.
Oui, le chemin est encore long, hein, évidemment, dans ces manches qualificatives. Pour l'instant, on l'a dit, départ parfait, avec de bonnes sensations, on l'imagine, avec le kart. On sait que c'est une nouvelle équipe pour vous cette saison et le travail commence à payer ses fruits. On est de plus en plus là, aux avant-postes, depuis quelques rendez-vous maintenant.
Ouais, je commence à bien aimer le Tibi, on commence à tout mettre en ordre en ce moment pour le mondial et du coup on essaye quelques châssis et là ça marche très bien avec le châssis qu'on a, du coup on essaye de viser la victoire pour ce week-end.
Oui, c'est ça, il y a une revanche à prendre aussi par rapport à Genk.
Oui, à Genk je prends 5 secondes alors que je gagne, je passe la ligne vainqueur, du coup on va essayer de prendre notre revanche.
Voilà, les ambitions sont en tout cas annoncées de la part de Clément Outram, que l'on retrouvera demain évidemment pour la suite des hostilités, la suite du programme en X30 Senior.
Thank you very much to Simon Mirguet and our last race winner of the day, Clément Outram. Well, as the clean-up commences here at Karting de Fagnes in Mariembourg. Well, we've already had our fair share of races today. We've had our qualifying sessions for Junior and Senior X30 this morning. A total of 8 races. Tomorrow we get underway on the live stream here on the Iame Series Benelux YouTube channel at 9:30 local time. Another 14 qualifying heats to go. And then we come down to the nitty-gritty. Who will become our 2024 Iame Series Benelux X30 Junior and Senior champions? Last year, it was Sascha Van Pan Bosch and Ellie Goldstein. Who will we add to the Roll of Honour? Find out and join us on the journey from 9:30 tomorrow morning. Until then, from myself, Alex Goldschmidt, and Simon Merguet, à bientôt et à demain.